stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a Pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey y'all, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Great to see you today on this Friday installment of the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. A lot to talk about today as we get back into it. I do want to say what's up to everybody on the terrible board this morning. I do want to say welcome to you. Welcome to you. Good morning to Cody, Code Man in the Heezy, big baby. What's up to my man Tyrone on the board? Always great to see Tyrone. I think I might have scrolled just a hair too far. Cody said, yo, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Cody. Tortilla says, no way. No way. JPJ is the GOAT. Only in Pennsylvania. In Ohio, Tyrone is the GOAT. Let's continue right here to say what's up to Lindsay. Always great seeing Lindsay on the terrible board. Always from right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's go down to the original OG into Joe Dre, JPJ. Just learning. Always great seeing you, my man. He says this. He says trade JPJ. Ay. Let's continue down. Tortilla says Yinzer Joe. Shh. Ooh, that was rough. Let's go down here to Ty 2490. Also Yinzer Joe and also Lindsay. And I do want to say what's up to Tokyo Hotel fan. Tokyo, welcome to the show. Are you in Tokyo? I have to ask. Michael, how are you on this beautiful Friday afternoon? Well, hold on real quick before I even turn it over to you. I want to say what's up to Jizz3. Jizz3, also on the terrible board. I love the name. As a matter of fact, you might get the game ball for your name, Jizz3. Jizz3 says, hi, Michael, how are you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning with the microphone, and we will get this rolling.
Thank you for the reminder to unmute, because 990 some odd episodes in, I would not have fucking remembered I had it muted. I was doing good. I'm doing better even now that there is someone named Jizz in the room.
I love it. You know what? This is what's going to tell me that this is going to be a great weekend, guys. We have a person named Jizz.
Whoa, breaking news.
I'm getting there. Oh, are you talking about the believe me, I have to. I can't stand up. I have to stay seated as I get there. Let me just get to it here in a second, Mike. I think this is what you're talking about. I think. Hold on. Let's go. Tyrone says this, y'all better stop this Porter BS today. He says, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Just Learning says, sorry, so sorry. And Christine, always, I want to thank you, Christine. She did touch base with us, and we appreciate that, Christine. And she says, I sent y'all pictures of my boobs, but you didn't see them because you were too distracted fighting. And you know what? Lucky for you, today is Booby Friday. No? Yeah, Mike, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
No. I was in agreement.
Yeah. I also do want to say, jump down to Cody real quick right here. I got a whole bag of with your name on it, my man. Always great. We want to say thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. You know, it will go right into the show. We appreciate you. We appreciate Jizz. Jizz says that he did subscribe, and we do thank you, Jizz, and we do welcome Jizz to the show, to the terrible board. Great to see you, Jizz. And I'm going to use every opportunity I can today to say his name, so I hope he sticks around. Christine says, it's too late, Mike. It's too late. See the problems that you caused? Just kidding. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Don't ever shush me, Cody. And you know what? You tell him. You tell him, Michael. It's yeah.
You know what? The big news from yesterday is not that you and I fought.
No.
The big news is that Finch was not here to screen get. To capture the don't shush me. You don't shush me.
Yeah, but you know what? He's a quarter professional, so he'll find a way to grab it off of there, I think, and use it.
I'm blaming Finch. All the problems from yesterday are Finch and Derpy's caused issues.
Yes. All I know is Derpy and Finch are and apparently RB. They've all had the glizzy, Mike, the glizzy. Of course, the big glizzy here at Sheets. This is a Paul Skeens endorsed hot dog, guys. Half of the crew has got the big glizzy here, Mike. And I also see more jizz on my screen. And you know what? I can't be happier that I'm seeing all this jizz on my screen. Jizz, he does put up a trophy, smiling, yellow smiling face. We want to say thank you to Jizz. It is great to have you here. Just Learning says this, Mikey says, my father-in-law is having a yard sale. He doesn't want me to sell anything. Mark Malone.
That's not good.
I don't know. Is that good or is that bad? That's about right. Let's go to Cody. All the problems are Finch's teeth. We couldn't agree more. I forget who says one time he has George Washington teeth. I think it might have been Cody as well. Let's go here. I blame Derpy, and as did we. And also the original OG Yinzer Joe says JPJ spotted in Detroit. My. So much going on, and I do have to get to Tortilla, my man, on this super chat. We want to thank you today so much, my friend. He says this, I'm going to shush JPJ. Very interesting. Cody says this. He says, that was me. I thought that was you, saying that Cody said Finch has George Washington teeth. Let's go here to Lindsay. I see what kind of day this will be. Well, I mean, I did. For a moment, I thought we were going to see boobies, but now I'm not quite sure. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Is Jizz the one and the only Jizz mop? Perhaps. Christine says it was a full moon yesterday. Guys, everybody, welcome back to the show. I mean, here's my thing. Listen, we kind of done this before. We've been doing this for a while. We're about to hit 1,000 episodes, which means our show is going to be in the top 1 percentile as far as podcasts put out. I don't know. I mean, listen, there was no doubt in my mind that things were going to move along and get better. However, we are human, and sometimes we display that in front of the world to see.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is this, Mike, I can be honest with you. Mike and I have never had an argument off the air, if you believe that. We've never literally had an argument off the air. I'm not the same condescending asshole that I am on the show. Of course, yes, there are the people that you see are mostly us. But again, there is an element to the show that is not in our regular life. And again, we've never gotten to the point where that was even nearly as close as what happened yesterday. So again, at the end of the day, it's been something that, again, it's been a fabric of the show. I don't know if it's a good fabric or a bad fabric or anything like this, but one thing that I do know is, guys, we're going to be breaking down the number 1,000 here in a few, and not that long, guys. We're going to get more to the details of that as we kind of get closer here. I think we're going to, because we have our vacation coming up and everything like this. So let us work on that and let it simmer through the weekend, guys. We'll get back with all that important information on Monday. So much stuff to get into. into today. So much stuff. Michael, I see jizz. I seen boobies. This is going to be a good Friday.
This is going to be a damn good Friday. We got jizz and boobies. It's the jizz on the boobies. That is the question.
Sounds like the movie I was watching last night before I fell asleep.
The jizz has hit the second boobie.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go
right
here.
For Steeler Talk, you're staying for boobs and jizz.
That's right. How many other Pittsburgh sports shows are showing boobs and jizz? Believe me, not many.
I wonder, Ryan, when are we going to see or hear two hosts fighting on Pittsburgh radio? Two co-hosts going at it. You know it's coming up.
Listen, we're the realest shit you're going to find, believe me. Some people act cool. Some people just don't. They're fucking douchebags. But I got to be honest with you guys. You were going to get everything, again, uncensored, live, real, right here on the show. And I do want to say welcome back because it is Friday, and this is the Two Dum Yinzers, and there's a lot to get into, guys. Let me grab a few more messages before we do get started. Christine, it was a full moon yesterday. Also, Cody says I had fun yesterday, guys. Thanks for that. Hey, it was 1 out of 990. All is good in the hood. Let's continue to move forward here and plunge along like we have since day one, guys. This is just the way that it be. Let's continue right here to Just Learning says TNA is my favorite. What are you more? Are you more of a T guy or are you more of an A guy? This is something that I kind of asked myself as I got a little bit older because I just assumed that I liked the whole thing. But apparently guys are either boobs or butt guys. Where do you fall? Mike, what is your preference when it comes to TNA?
I'm more of a vagina guy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah, it's got to be aesthetically pleasing.
What if you're looking to the if you're out in the streets or you're in the city and you're walking around, is it the boobs that you like or is it the ass?
It's the ass. It's the ass. Like boobs. Like I think it's like I like boobs too. I like ass. But no, everyone's like, oh my god, look at those big boobs and those big asses. Like I'm not a big fan of the big boobs and big asses.
Right.
You anything once we get over like a C cup, I'm like, that's just too much for me. That's too much to deal with. Asses, like people are like, oh my god, Kim Kardashian's ass. I'm like, that ass is so fucking huge. How's she getting up in there wiping? That thing go stacked. That thing go right. That needs nice medium to small butt. Okay.
Jamal says,
look at me. I am a Greek god. I can demand what people look like.
Jamal says it's all about the camel toe love, baby.
Shit, I'm bleeding.
Listen, I don't know what I think I'm an ass guy. I think.
You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Damn near 50 years on Earth, and you're not sure.
I think I think I'm an ass guy. If I have a choice to grab a boobie or an ass, I would grab an ass. And a lot of people say, well, guys have asses. Why would you just grab a boob? I don't know. I just would. I don't know. I've just always kind of been more attracted to the ass. I mean, the boobs are good, but Mike, as you're saying, obviously the vagina is like is the destination. Obviously the boobs would kind of be like the airport, and the ass is kind of like, things along the way, the duty-free shop. But ultimately, the location you want to get to. So I guess we're going to shed through all that. Let's stay on the board and get into things. Tyrone says, shaking my head. I see what kind of day this is about to be. Looney. Lindsay says, yeah, not mine. Lindsay says, no boobies from her way. Let's go here to Tyrone. Hello, we got you on that, sir. Gang, my man Jamal. What's up, brother? Always great seeing Jamal on the terrible board. My man, hope things are going well. And I did miss you yesterday, Jamal, because, again, somebody told me that my beard was actually considered a Texas goatee. So I thought that I would tell you that information because I don't know. Is that what goes on in Texas? I just know that everything is bigger, perhaps. So maybe this would be the Texas goatee, and something a lot bigger would be a Texas beard. I'm not sure. Let's go to Squeege. Glad to see you guys are back. Had me worried yesterday, though. It was wildly entertaining. Had me stopped in the middle of my job, laughing my ass off. And you know what? If we could do that, then our goals are achieved. If somebody
can make your workday better, that's why we're here.
Or if you wreck your car into the side of the road, or anything of this nature caused by the show, it's all considered a win. But unfortunately, just kidding. We don't want that to happen to you, Squeege. Welcome back. Always support. Always thankful for the support, my man. Appreciate it. Cody says yesterday was awesome. Christine says I did see Ryan's eyes though. That was so nice. I do have eyes, believe it or not. And I do have eyes. Let's continue down here. Let's go to Jamal. He says, what did I miss? Christine, Cody, just learning maybe the sexual tension during Pride, perhaps, as we were down to the 26th, Mike. The 26th.
It could be. You never know, but we're not going to find out.
You're having, yeah.
Sorry to disappoint everyone.
You only have 4 days.
Like 4 days, but the writing's on the wall. I think Derpy's going to run away with this. The little bottom, he looks very submissive and very controllable, which gay, straight. That's what guys want. Someone that they can dominate and do what they want with. And Derpy puts off that vibe.
He's a vibe. No two ways about it.
He's something.
Cody says Mike had a Browns jersey on. Now that would have been
No. Good sir. This is why you were like etched in stone on the enemy list, my friend.
Tortilla says JPJ interview yesterday at Jamal. Jizz, my man. Let's go to Mike Oxlong. I do want to say welcome to Mike. Welcome back. I do believe I recognize the name. He says boobies. Yeah, that's right, baby. It's all about the boobies at the end of the day. Tortilla says Ryan shush JPJ in the interview with Mike. He just wasn't having it. It was not going to go down. Also, Jamal, what the fuck? Tortilla says, I'm lying. JPJ was on the show. He was not. Squeech says, I'm not going to lie. It made me sad, and I had a great laugh. Well, I'm glad that we entertained. Again, at the end of the day, try to find that elsewhere on Pittsburgh radio. Let's continue here forward to Cody. Cody says, you see what happened was we were talking about Deontay Johnson.
We're talking about Deontay Johnson and Kenny Pickett at the same time.
Yes. I do also see Jamal. He says he's an ass man. He is more of an ass man, as was Mike Oxlong. He's a booby man. I'm sorry. He was a booby man. Jamal is an ass man. Yinzer Joe says this. He says, curious, where would the Steelers be if they lost that last game against the Ravens? That's a very interesting question that I had thought about myself, actually. Would we have gotten Vega and Lemon? Would Tomlin still be here? That's a lot of great questions. Let's get caught up on the board at least, and we will certainly get to that. Yinzer Joe, that's a fantastic question, actually.
Damn cool.
Tortilla says this. We are taking over-under bets on the show if the show was over. How did you do? Did these guys do okay? Let's go to Tyrone. He says, yeah, Jamal JPJ was on the show and the conversation got spicy. Jamal says, bros got at it. Shit has to happen. Absolutely. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, ass it is. Okay, there's another ass on the list. Cody says they had a little moment, a little Ali moment without Ali. I forgot about Ali. How's he doing, guys? The Jizz. Also, let's go here to Jamal, of course, the camel toe love, baby. All about the love of the camel toe. I'll go here to Yinzer Joe. Brandon Sorsby betting on JPJ to be traded to the Lions. Tortilla says two big old titties, two tig old bitties, baby. That's where he's at. He's with the T in his list.
I see Tortilla being the guy that just jumps right in, just
yeah.
Not even a hi, hello, how are you? Just random big tittied women. You see Tortilla just
between him, between him and Cody. When I picture, like how you said, just jumping right in, you know what I think of when I think of Cody? And not because he's Mexican. Well, maybe a little bit because he's Mexican. But did you ever see the movie Next Friday? A Joker, the littlest one. Then there was Baby Joker, who was older. And then Baby Joker, whatever, that was the third one. That is what I picture when I see Cody being all excitable with the chick. Remember when he comes running in and he's jumping around all excitable and crazy and shit? That's what I picture when I see Cody. And
in Cody's mind, he's probably all smooth and suave and shit. Yeah.
Tyrone says, Yinzer Joe, shut it. Let's go to Tortilla. He says, I scream for ass cream. I love it. And the thing is that I'm an ass guy, but asses are so less, I don't know, just in the overall picture, so much less attractive than boobies. Because when you think about it, where does duty come from? But yet we still love the ass. And what it really gets me is when girls really love man ass. Like, what is it about a man's ass? Yeah. But, I just had a moment. Let's go here.
You did just have a moment of like deep self-thought and reflection. You're like,
Well, men's, I mean, we're always fucking hairy and we always stink, and something's always going on back there for guys. Again, so I don't get it, but you know what? I guess I don't have to get it. Let's go to Jamal. Jamal says, I like ass, but I'm a breast man myself. Hey, man, you know what? There's no wrong answer, to be honest with you. Christine says, well, if Tomlin were there, we would have gotten Vega, Lemon, Cooper, Omar. Admitted they were planning on trading up for Lemon, and then they got lost him, so they tried to get Cooper. Christine also says, and then got punked by the Jets and had to take Bernard. I do want to say what's up to Liam in the house, big baby. What's up, brother? Always great seeing Liam back on the terrible board, my man. Also, Lindsay says it was super funny yesterday. Let's go here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, Christine, no, if they wanted Cooper Jr., they would have picked him at 31. I'm happy with Bernard. His Cooper Jr. was still there because he went right after, I believe, we picked to the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. Let's continue down the board here. Let's get Jiz says 67. 67. Tyrone says this. How could they get Mac and Cooper? LOL. Ty both was going first round. I'll grab a couple more and then we're going to get into the show. I am right here. They admitted it. I'll send you the interview. This is Christine. She says they thought they could grab Max and then trade up and still get Cooper. That's why they took Max first. Gotcha. Big 6'7" for Jiz in the Heezy, baby. Cody says, Christine, that's because Bernard mid, no one wanted him. Inja Joe was looking good till it wasn't in the draft. Jamal says, man, true story. I've been feeling out of touch and trying to find more of myself, and this show always makes me feel home with my G's. Gang. And, you know, that was something that we ultimately talked about and agreed on is it's about you. It's about the people that tune in. It's about the people that support us. And at the end of the day, that's ultimately, you know, again, I explained the other day, you know, my love of radio and broadcasting. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for the people on the other side of this screen. And again, ultimately, that's what's the most important. And that's what keeps the show going. That's what's getting us to 1,000. And it will be happening real soon. So again, guys, it is what it is. It's time to move on. And have you ever, I can't ask the girls because chicks usually get in a fight with other women, Mike, and they hate each other for the rest of their lives. If you know anything about guys and brothers and things like this, you know, we could beat each other's heads in. And then within the hour, be having dinner and eating and talking. And it'd be what it be, Mike. I have no answer. There's no explanation. It just is what it is.
You hit the nail on the head.
Let me either go right here. Liam says, hi. Jiz says, who's your favorite NFL team? It'd be the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are here in Western PA. Jiz, who is your favorite NFL team? If I can ask. Also, Tyrone says, well, I'm glad we didn't get Bernard. I'm happy. Liam said his team. Cody says, I'm sorry. Tyrone says, Cody, shut up. Okay, Jiz likes the Eagles. And that's cool. I'm not necessarily a big Eagles fan, but you know what, Jiz? You seem all right in my book. Hope you have a great time, man. Stick around. We're here for a while. Don't go anywhere. Christine says, hopefully they learn from their mistakes and won't screw it up all next time. Cody says, Bernard has no special ability. He's the Aquaman on the Justice League or whatever nerd world they live in, Mike.
Oh, wow. Cody coming out firing shots.
All right, there you go. Jiz says the Eagles are so good. Tyrone says Cody hasn't even played yet. Laugh my ass off. Let's go here to Cody. He hasn't played. I'm sorry. Jiz says this Eagle. Also, Christine. Let's go down to Tortilla. Or Tyrone. Tyrone says this, but she said the same thing. TJ Watt, too, with TJ Watt also. Come on, Tyrone. Cody says, take me to Judge Judy, fool. I'm going to grab a couple more right here. Tyrone says, making a point. Lindsay probably says TJ would be mid too. Somber, my man. We're back. Nice. Great to see you, Somber, all the way from Los Angeles, California. And let me grab right here just Tortilla, and we're going to move along. Tortilla says, Call of Duty, Yinzer Ops, big baby. That's right. Welcome back to the show. Mike, right before we dive right into this, there's a lot of sports going on here in the Berg this weekend. But I do have to say, as I've been spending time on YouTube, I found a new interest. I generally have an interest in the paranormal and things of this nature, Mike. But there's a show where these guys, it's called Scared and Impaired. And when they go on these ghost hunts, they either drink or smoke weed or do these other things to see if there is any kind of connection that people are making while they are impaired. Where somebody could say, okay, well, maybe they're seeing something spiritually, they're feeling something spiritually, something just on a different level, as if you was to go out and ghost hunt or whatever. In this show, it's actually called, Mike, it's called Scared and Impaired, and they draw pencil, they figure out who's going to do what. One guy gets drunk, one guy smokes, one guy does this, whatever, and then they go and they do ghost hunts. And again, I think that it's fantastic.
I want to go sign up for that show so bad. I want to go do it.
The thing is that it's just like a group, like how the ghost hunters are a group. Like any ghost hunter show that you would watch, like it's not a competition like where we could just go, because if we could, I would. But it seems more like like the ghost hunters whenever they go out and do their thing.
Damn, why did we think of that?
I agree.
We
did think of it. We just never made it big on it.
Yeah, that's something we never made it that far. We might have been drunk and or high at the same time. Yes.
Let's get have a couple more here, Mike. I don't want to get too far behind it. It is Friday. We do have a lot to get into. The Pittsburgh sports scene is booming this weekend, guys. The Pirates have a new series against the Reds. Some more low pro teams also playing this weekend. Let me grab just two more. I swear to you. Two more. I'm going to grab. If I can go find it right about somewhere here. Thing was my screen got jacked up and then I came back. And
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to boot a spammer.
Okay, interesting. Let's go to right here. No, right here. No, right here. There we go. Let's go right here to what's going on. Somber. Cody, Christina Morcon is a bum. Yinzer Joe says this. I thought the Steelers got punked by the Cowboys and the Eagles. Followed it up by saying Omar Khan go after Ayuk for the third time. Let's go to Cody. Cody says, I see fights like that at least twice a day at my job. And Christine says, everybody that we drafted throughout, though outside of a couple, do have one great ability, the ability to not be able to start. Please no. Ayuk, Lindsay says, guys, the Pittsburgh Pirates do start a series this weekend against the Cincinnati Reds. This is a 3-game series that starts today. Game 1 will be tonight at 6:40. Game 1 of 3. Also going on, Mike, is the Pittsburgh Riveters, our female soccer team. As soccer is big right now.
Booming.
But the team here in Pittsburgh, they also continue on as they got, what do they got? They got something. They got Steel City.
I know they have a playoff game coming up. I can't remember if this is the game before the playoff game or not.
This is the prep game, and I think they're going to do like midweek, I think, on the games in the tournament. They do play Steel City tomorrow. It is a preparation game for the playoffs, so hopefully they can do something big there. Also, Mike, speaking of soccer, Team USA, you did call this one yesterday.
Yep.
You had Team USA losing to Turkey because, you know what, USA didn't quite need to win. And you know what? By losing, USA moves on, and by winning, Turkey goes home. So I guess, I don't understand that logic. Maybe I'm still learning the soccer, but at the end of the day, my Turkey with the win goes home, and USA with the loss moves on.
Yeah, we right now it was in group play. There's 4 teams to your group, so you play each team once, and then the win is 3 points, draw is a point, loss is 0. So we had the most points. Turkey did not have enough to qualify. They finished in 4th out of the group, so they're going home. Pictured as it was week 18 for Team USA.
Okay.
We literally rested a lot of guys. We brought them into the second half to keep their fitness levels up, to keep them so they can get some good minutes into the game. We didn't have to win. We didn't play all of our starters. I think it was like something like 10 of our starters sat out the game. Or in a handful came on at the latter part. Our best player, he came in the second half because he missed the game before, so it was like a rehab stint for him to get ready for the games that matter. Because now it's lose and go home, and win and move on now.
And by doing this, we do move on. We are going to play a game Wednesday night against Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Why do we got to play 2 countries?
Right?
That's a bullshit.
Bullshit, man. Team USA does play on Wednesday night in their next game after taking the L 3-2 to Turkey last night. Turkey on their way home as they don't qualify to move forward. Team USA still very much in the hunt. Mike, the other football, the good football, if you will, the favorite football at the end of the day here in the Berg, Mike, the Pittsburgh Passion. They are going to be hosting the Mile High Blaze coming in from Colorado in the first round of the playoffs here in women's football, women's full contact football. Mike, this is going to be tomorrow at 6 o'clock. This home game for the Passion won't be at Slippery Rock as they played at home all year. It will be at Char Valley High School will be where they play tomorrow. If they win, they will advance in the playoffs. If they lose, they will go home. And finally, Mike, the Pittsburgh Penguins making a couple trades yesterday. I think one from Washington, one from somewhere else. The guy from Washington, Mike, the hockey is more your speed. What is the guy they got from Washington? It seems like he was a player that people should be happy that we got, right?
Yeah, he's going to be a nice bottom six depth. Everyone looks at your top two lines, but you can really win or lose the Stanley Cup depending on how your bottom six plays. Third, fourth line. The year the Penguins set the wins record, they lost because the bottom six was terrible. And this guy fills in a great need at the bottom six, solidifies that unit. It was surprising that Washington gave him up. We had to give up some draft capital for him. But, hey, that's what you have to do when you're rounding out the team. I like it. He's an established vet. You know what you're going to get out of him. Good, dirty minutes out of him.
And you know what, the Penguins, Mike, there's been a lot of news, of course, the draft today for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL. Also, Mike, the team changing ownership also this week and a couple of trades during the week. So if you're a Penguins fan, there's a lot of news going on. And here's the thing, I like the Penguins. I don't love hockey the way I love football. But at the end of the day, Mike, I love my Pens. And, as long as they're wearing black and gold, baby, they're always going to be fine by me. And you are seeing certainly an eventful week for the Penguins more than just recently. So good luck to them in the draft today. Good luck to them with their new players. Good luck to them with the new ownership. Let's get back to winning, get back to the playoffs and get some wins. And Mike, if we're going to continue on this pace, we're waiting for somebody to get out of the first round of the playoffs before I shave. I'm going to be Rip Van Winkle by the time this is all said and done. The Pittsburgh Steelers better get it done because it's starting to get itchy.
I'm telling you, we got to extend this out to the Riveters and the Hounds.
Yeah, we got
we got to do something, brother.
We got to, baby. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see us today. Let's get into some Steeler talk, shall we? A lot going on, Mike. Let's get back to a couple things, some things on the storyboard from yesterday. We're going to continue. We're going to work into some news from today. A few things that we do know, Mike, that there was some moves, nothing that's going to get anybody excited or get anybody down about things as they do sign defensive back Damari Henry, Mike, and they also released defensive end KJ Henry. What's the defensive back's name? Why are their names so similar?
I don't know, and it confuses and frightens me.
Absolutely, me too. I'm kind of going back there on my own here and looking for these names. But anyway, besides the point, these are guys that nobody even cares about. And again, Mike, if you're looking for the final 53, with the exception, as we always say, of one or two guys, you got the 53 figured out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you kind of have it locked down. It might be a little tricky this year if they want to keep four quarterbacks, and depending on how, like if Johnson and Heidenreich, how well they play, if you're going to keep both, keep one, keep neither. There's some at the tail end of the roster are going to be kind of hard to zero in on, but for the most part, like you said, I guarantee we can rattle off the top 48 easily.
Absolutely. I'm looking right here, Amari Harvey and KJ Henry. No wonder with my terrible penmanship, it got a little confusing. But the team released defensive end KJ Henry. And again, also they signed defensive back Amari Harvey. So there you go, guys. I didn't want to
that really moves the needle.
I know. No needle has been moved.
Yeah.
Not a one. Also, guys, the Steelers did hire, of course, the weird firing, Mike, or whatever the hell that was, our special teams coach the other week. Mike, Darian Thompson is hired. Darian Thompson is hired as a special teams quality control guy to replace him. Mike, he played and coached under Mike McCarthy. So, again, just another person that knows McCarthy. And again,
I think he came from the Cowboys is where he came from. So, yeah, keeping it in the Mike McCarthy coaching tree. We'll see how it goes.
all of his guys here, believe me, I'm not. But at the end of the day, I think familiarity, Mike, could certainly be an advantage. And, it's going to cut down on time to have to catch up with one another and learn one another. And maybe we could just benefit from that, from a lot of the moves and hirings that we made as far as the coaching staff goes.
That way he doesn't have to bring up a bunch of random coaches, get them up to speed. A lot of these guys that have familiarity with him, like I said, they're already going to know how he wants to operate, the verbiage, the terminology that they're going to use, and the expectations are already there. So keep it moving, and especially at this time of the year right now, I don't know, maybe the pickings were slim to try and find a coach for this. So it's like, hey, I know this guy. I trust him. He ain't going to fuck shit up. Oh, let's bring him in.
No, you're probably right. At the end of the day, I mean, if anything out there is of value, it's probably more beneficial to grab somebody that opposed to trying to find something, because that may be impossible at this point. So that is what's going on with there. They did get somebody hired for that spot, Mike, as that position is now occupado. A few things also I do want to get into, guys. Training camp is now literally a month and 2 days from starting to formulate, as July 28th is when the players start showing up at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. The 29th is the first official day of camp. The 3rd of August is first day of pads. The 8th of August is Saturday Night Lights, and 8/17 is the last day of camp, Mike. So as we head into the weekend and come back on the 29th of June, we will be less than a month till that whole process starts. So guys, we could be closer, but in a lot of ways we couldn't be any closer.
It's getting closer, though. You can hear the pads popping in the distance.
Yes.
And that's all I'm here for, is for that first padded practice. Because once that happens, it's going to be like the body's just going to be right. Everything's going to be A-okay once you hear that first crack.
That's not Derpy's ass clapping in the background. That is the pads popping, just in case you're wondering. Nobody wanted to see Derpy. What is that called? What is that called when they shake their ass real fast, girls? Twerking. Nobody wants to see, believe me, nobody wants to see Derpy's twerking.
God, no.
Perhaps if you and Derpy would have both twerked a video and made it, that might have made the affected the results, obviously, in the competition, perhaps, Mike.
It could have. I think I would have won. I would have made sure I won.
A lot of things we're going to get into today. We're going to catch up on a little bit of the Eric Ebron talk. Was the big news yesterday. Some Eric Ebron controversy going on around the Berg, Mike. Again, all that just proves that there's really nothing going on with the Steelers at the moment, as you see these kind of stories continue to pop up. And again, it seems to be the sell right now. A lot of people just want to find some controversial stuff to get you to turn to their channel. However, we will talk about it. It is something that is going around town, the word about Eric Ebron after he was on Cam Hayward's podcast just the other day. Also, Mike, we do have a lot to get into. We really do have a lot to get into. But before we do get started, I want to say this. Mike, the CBS annual top 100 player list has been put out one more time, as it is every year, annually. Mike, and there was 2 Steelers that made this list. 2 Steelers that made the CBS 100 top players annual list. Coming in at number 88. Last year, he was somewhere right around, I think, 20-something, perhaps. He was really high. TJ Watt this year coming in at 88. 88. Lindsay's guy. And Mike, finally, the top player, according to CBS's top 100 players, comes in at number 39 overall. Some might say 39. Wow, who could that be? It is no one other than Cam Hayward. Mike, CBS says that Cam Hayward is the 39th top player in the NFL.
And I say I'm secretly engaged to Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley and Scarlett Johansson, all 3 at the same time. I think it has the same bearing as their list. Yeah, Watt's still top 100, and I think Cam was still a top 100. I think Cam, like when Cam was on, we saw it in that Baltimore game.
Yeah,
but it's those games are few and far between. Like where he's still that elite game record type guy that his reputation is built on. So I think it was a bit too high. I think Watt may be a bit too low, even though we're hard on him. I still think he makes those really impactful plays that a lot of people don't make at the same time. So he could have been a little higher, but how can you leave off the GOAT? Really, how can you leave off to go? Joey Porter Jr. not a top 100 player according to CBS. This makes me question a lot of things, and I'm dumbfounded. Well, of course, CBS is the same publication that said the Steelers should trade for the Colts running back.
Why does he get no love, Mike? Why does JPJ get no love?
He wasn't a first-round pick.
You know, and the thing is, it's so terrible because he actually was getting picked at 32. I mean, the only thing you're really changing is the number from 1 to 2. But being a 32nd pick overall is a first-round pick. It's just the way that year played out. But is that what it ultimately came down to? Is it that he wasn't a first-round guy?
Yeah, I think he wasn't a first-round guy. That rookie year, he had a lot of penalties. And now it's the narrative stuff. He wasn't a first-round elite talent. And not having a lot of interceptions, the sexy stats.
Right.
Never mind the fact that you bring up all the advanced analytics and the stats and the yardage forward allowed and where he ranks and all that shit, like top 5 in a shit ton of them and top 10 in all the other important ones. It's the interception total in not being a first-round pick. I think it's what's killing them. Because, these publications, they look at the stats, the sexy stats, and that's it.
And that's an obvious thing because, again, you look at a lot of things we've talked about over the past couple of years, that edge position, Mike, and it was always these sexy. It came down to things that were sexy, the sack, and as you're looking past the fact the guy runs past run plays. Again, I mean, this is nothing. It's just an example of the past, and they would continue to say, well, this person's the best, when in fact it's the sexy things. It's the interceptions. It's the sacks. It's just the way that the NFL fandom is at this time, and it's the way they push the narrative. But at the end of the day, guys, if say what you want. Say what you want. Cam Hayward, Mike, according to CBS, top 100 players list is 39th, the 39th best player in the league, if you can believe that. And TJ Watt, 88 out of 100.
One too high, one too low.
I agree, Mike. This is something that was said. I don't know. I just think they're wrong. I think that they're off. Again, I think they should both be in there. Again, but we'll see. We'll see. Cam's going to be in there for the rest of his life. He's in that category, Mike. He's in that category where you can't get him out now. Just as we talked about, once you get players in that position, but with the media, there's no way they're never going to not love him. There's no way no one's ever not going to love Myles Garrett again in the media. He's just, there's just things that are pushed. There's just narratives. And at the end of the day, JPJ is trying to get in there, but once he gets in, Mike, he'll probably be an All-Pro for the next 10 years.
You just have to get into that club, into the guys who don't watch the game, just look at the stats club in the media, and once you do, you're set for life. Because you're still seen as a dork if you watch a shit ton of tape and then analyze like the deep stats. It's just if you look at sacks and interceptions, people are just going to want to listen to that. They don't want to listen to like third down completion percentage and zone coverage completion percentage against and shit like that, because it's not fun. It's seen as homework.
No, I agree. It's 100% true. I mean, what else do we look at when we talk about these edges?
It's all about sacks. And it's like for defensive player of the year, we were talking about that for a while now. People just look at sacks and interceptions, whereas the guy has like damn near 200 tackles and no, he's not that good. Like damn near like 180 solo tackles himself. He ain't that good.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. It's just whatever the stat du jour is.
Somebody might have had a way better season as an edge rusher, but as long as this guy ended up getting more sacks and getting the most sacks or whatever, he's going to be the defensive player of the year. That's one thing that always gets me, Mike. The defense is just so much more than an edge rusher. I don't know why they hyper focus on those edge rushers, because there's a lot of great defenders around the league. Let's get into some more stuff, Mike. The word is a snag right now on JPJ's contract. That's the word that I'm hearing is being used. Is there's a snag in the process as we speak. It seems to me like there's a difference of about $5 million. What seems to be the difference in everybody's opinion when it comes to JPJ's contract. The low end people are saying 25. The high end people are saying 30. To me, I don't know. It's all a lot of money. Just figure something out, get it done so we can play football, right?
You're right. Like at that point, what's an extra $5 million?
Yeah, exactly. That's
the cap goes up every year. And then if you get him signed before Gonzalez and some of the other cornerbacks that are going to be coming up, it's going to be seen as a bargain. Like by year two, but even by year two, it's going to be seen as a bargain. By years 3 and 4, it's going to see, oh my god, this guy is like, yeah, this is a steal, man. This is a Kmart blue light special.
I agree. Let's grab some messages here, Mike, so we don't get behind. Tortilla says this: we just got rid of Tomlin. Why would we trade for this kid? Let's go here to Tyrone. Says Christine, Max, Bernard, Dunker, Weegan, Riley all can start. Let's go here to Somber. I'm sorry, are you saying jizz?
Possible. It's possible.
Are you saying meow? Let's continue forward here a little bit to yeah, we are saying jizz, actually. Jizz on the terrible board.
Do I look like a cat hop around on nimbly bimbly?
I'll treat it from jumping from tree to tree. Let's go to Christine. The original said the 3 original they did in the Jets. LOL. 12 picks was too many, and they got confused apparently. Cody says this: Tyrone, the only good one out of that group is Everett. Lindsay says that's false. Dunker will be good. Let's go here. My guy, another one. The Spears Jennings. I was just reading also that one of the. You know what? Let me wait to get to that because again, if I can. Yeah, I can't. That's because somebody specific said it. So let me hold on to that.
Yeah.
Because I do have a segment of, something for that person. Let's move along a little bit here. Max is Broderick Jones, 1.5. Tortilla, that was from Cody. Tortilla says Cody judges everything by speed. He makes Tortas run a 40 before he cracks. Let's go to the original Yinzer. Joe Ryan, you have an interest in passing Mike off. Don't kid us. Passing Mike off. Not even sure what that means. Do I?
Oh, you want to get rid of me?
No. I don't know anything about that. But anyway, let's go right here to Mark Malone. He says they should drop LSD and do it. And you know what? They may. I just haven't gotten that far enough into the series to know. But again, yes, and Scared and Impaired on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's pretty interesting if you like ghost hunting. Mark Malone, Mike can hallucinate from quitting booze. Probably. Do you want me to pull the bottles back out? Let's go. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you pull the bottles back out?
They don't have anything in them anymore, but we could. Let's go to Cody. I do. And if they run anything slower than a 4.5, I tell them sing karaoke with Tortilla. Christine says this. I think Weegan will be good right away, and Dunker and Max will probably be okay eventually. She follows it up by saying when Weegan will start on or special teams, and that's all she wrote. Ty, LOL. Tyrone saying Christine Christine just a draft hater. Mark Malone says with a name like Weegan or Wet Jen, perhaps, as Mark is trying to put out there. I do want to say welcome to the show, my man Mark Malone, the man, the myth, the mustache. Always great seeing Mark Malone. Jizz says, do you like the Eagles? I mean, they're a PA team. They are a PA team, and if I have to, like, if the Eagles are going up against the Patriots, perhaps in the Super Bowl, as that happened, or somebody else, I could be an Eagle fan temporarily, as I did root against them versus the Patriots. I can recall. Tortilla says if she don't sing like Lizzo, I won't jizzo. Jizz is her friend, Mark Malone.
God.
Let's go, Cody. He says I think we should trade Omar. The original OG Yinzer Joe says the soccer game was Deontay Johnson going backwards. Christine says that's because McCarthy and Omar suck at the draft. Laugh out loud. Omar was used to Tomlin doing everything, and that was probably the first time McCarthy had any say in the matter. Cody says bullshit. Lindsay says worst stadium ever. Tyrone says they actually didn't do too bad, and you can't judge a draft till 2 or 3 years. And one more. I'm going to go right here. Now we're going to get back to some more topics, Mike. I got Ventate. What's up, brother? Great to see you back on the board. He says, his practice squad running back Lou Nickel the second good enough to play on the roster, or does Nowakowski preclude a spot for Nichols? Nichols looks better to me than Caleb Johnson. I thought Nichols looked good in preseason last year. Certainly better than Caleb. Again, I don't know if he secures a roster spot when it all is all said and done. Maybe great performance in the preseason could allow that talk to begin. But as of right now, I like Lou Nichols. But at the end of the day, I don't feel that he will crack the 53 when it's time to break it down.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a few years now, and still, I think he has 0 official NFL carries. So he's just like the league has kind of put the label on him as like a practice squad type guy. And I think it's been tough for him to make the roster.
And then Christine, she says this: I can judge it whenever I want. Ty, don't tell me what to do. Do we need to play back your tape? Following that by Ty, I'm playing. You know I loves you, baby. That's right. It's all about the love here, man. Let's get into some more talk, Mike. There was a big conversation that did go down yesterday. It was a lot of what was said by a former tight end of the Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron, Mike, he was on the Cam Hayward podcast the other day, and he had some things to say about some former players. He's talking about Ben. He's talking about Muth. He's even talking, who else? Matt Canada. Basically saying, as far as Matt Canada, there was no disagreeing. Mike, I thought that he was right on about Matt Canada. Just basically talking about, people were wondering what the hell he was doing. Different situations. They said that there was a certain quote. I could pull them up, Mike, if you want to go ahead and take this comment for a moment. I'll pull up some of these quotes.
Where are we at on the comments here?
We are right here at. You know what? I don't have the timestamp anymore.
I got it. I know where we're at. Yeah. We're with Tyrone. I ain't telling you what to do. It's just this year's draft hasn't played the snap yet. Leave it to y'all on edge. RB got to y'all. Tortilla. Art Winnie did good. I don't know who Art Winnie is. Cody, my nickname Bullwinkle because my ice is rocky. I hate you, Cody. Tyrone, yes, Art is a bum and he's a cheap ass mofo. Somber, y'all. Somber, they are on something else today. I don't know what they're on. I wish I was on it. I probably shouldn't have said it that way. Yeah, Lindsay, yes, they are. It's Somber, yep. It's that Friday vibe, baby. It's the post-fight Friday vibe. And Tortilla says he hasn't even had his coffee yet. Maybe skip the coffee, brother. You're already at a 10. I don't know if we can hand you at a 15. And see Christine saying they keep 4 QBs after preseason, then everyone needs to be fired. Keeping 4 QBs when no in hell will any of them ever be your starter next year would be malpractice. She's ready to call up Shenderovas or Fishman. She got that malpractice lawsuit ready to go. Let's see. Where's Tyrone? Art would pay Herbig $25 a year and his backup. And he's a backup, but has problems paying Porter that's top 5 at his position. If the reports are true, what a joke. And I agree with you. I agree with you. I like Herbig. I think he's going to be a damn good starter once he gets starting. But if you're willing to give him $25 million and he has limited snaps, limited production, has missed time due to injury, and you got a guy who hasn't given up touchdown, hasn't, I think, maybe missed 1 game or 2 games, and is a lockdown corner, I'd pay him more than the guy who's just been coming in as a backup, not an every down starter. Yeah, Lindsay telling people to relax. Where was she yesterday?
Yesterday they would have they were relaxed. Yesterday they wanted to show boobies. Today we are relaxed, and today Mike is showing the boobies. So see what you did. Mike, you know what? There's 3 different articles. And here's the thing: I'm not going to take the time to go through because this was yesterday's story. Eric Ebron basically goes on Cam Hayward's podcast, talks a little bit of shit about Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Canada, and Pat Freiermuth. But basically saying that Ben, you know, they knew that it wasn't going to be good anymore. He had the injury going on with his arm, and you know, it's the way that it was. He goes on to say, Mike, I don't understand why they drafted Pat Freiermuth. Again, this is coming from a tight end.
Yeah,
who ultimately didn't stay with the team. So at the end of the day, he's talking a little trash on Pat Freiermuth. And then finally, Mike, his overall assessment on what it is that Matt Canada was doing from the offensive coordinator position spot. So again, there was just a lot of shit talk, Mike. And I think it was really irrelevant to anything. It is off-season news. It is an off-season story here in the Berg. Everybody was talking about it. We did have it in the itinerary to talk about. But again, at this point, I just don't know if there's much more we could pull out of this conversation.
Like the Pat Freiermuth thing, I kind of agree with, because that was the year we drafted him in the second round, Najee in the first, and Ebron saying, like, we knew Ben was banged up. We knew the line needed help. Why didn't we go out and get Creed Humphreys? Like, get him to help Ben, be able to have more time in the pocket to get to the balls to the playmakers and stuff like that. That I agreed with, because when I thought we were going to go Creed Humphreys round 1, and then if Najee was there in round 2, we'd get him or someone like Freiermuth. I thought that would have been perfect. But when we got Najee 1 and Creed Humphreys is sitting there in round 2, I'm losing my mind. I think we're getting the steal. We're getting the best center of the draft, and then we get my boy Pat Freiermuth. That was like the first time I was ever pissed we drafted a Penn State player. Like the one time we do it, we got a future Hall of Fame center sitting right there. We get my boy from Penn State. So I agree with, like, it was a head scratcher in the moment. I do like that we got Patty Fry, because now we have Zach Frazier now. But at that time, we could have had Creed Humphreys, and we never would have had to deal with the Kendrick Green experiment.
Yeah, I mean, the Kendrick Green experiment was certainly an experiment. And
I think that was in the same draft too.
I don't have any problem with Pat Freiermuth. I don't think that is an issue. I think that it kind of worked out in the long run, and now allows us to have a pretty thorough tight end room at the end of the day. So again, I don't have any problem with that. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, after he went on to talk about Ben just not having it anymore, and talking about Pat Freiermuth not being a good pick, and finally also Matt Canada, Mike, in that offense, we need not really get into that. I think everybody knows what he might have been talking about. Mike, he ends up coming out and saying, he says this. What did he say? I wish y'all would have drafted me. And as he was reflecting on his time with the greatest organization. Could you imagine what he would have been saying about the team that he didn't have a good time with?
I know, right? Like, it was a weird interview, because it was weird. It was weird, but because he was all happy and everything, and I don't know if he was talking shit on Fryer or just on Fryer, or just like the thought process of, like, we're all thinking we're getting a beefy lineman, but also at the same time, like you said, like a tight end sees another tight end draft, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Ebron was nothing to write home about. I wasn't thrilled with him. I thought, you know what? Maybe he was kind of a John O. Smith in a way.
Yeah, we caught him at the tail end of his career. I would say, like, the first year he was here, he was good. I think he was starting to get banged up towards the end here, because he was great in Indy. Got here, we caught him at the tail end of his career.
Yeah. I did have 2 years here. So again, I would have expected a little bit more. He had the dropsy sometime too, if I'm remembering right. There was just something I didn't care about, Eric Ebron. But you know what? It be what it be. Let's get into some stuff here, Mike. Some more things talking about our quarterback. Some people say that this is a liability. Our starting quarterback right now, Aaron Rodgers, of course, Mike. But Tom Brady tends to disagree with those people by saying, Mike, that Aaron Rodgers, he says there's nobody better when it comes to throwing the football. Whether, he's telling the truth, which he very well could be, whether he's just being an awesome person and, complimenting his brother quarterback. It could be, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that we're any further out of most of the positions that a lot of these other teams are in as far as their quarterback. Mike, I think that this is as close to a franchise quarterback that you're going to have this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you got to take advantage. You got to let him go out and do his things. We provided him the weapons. We hopefully got his protection shored up a little bit on the offensive line. Mike, I'm kind of happy. Again, I wasn't a big Aaron Rodgers fan when this all started, but I'm more confident with the Steelers now than possibly in other situations that we could certainly be in with Aaron Rodgers. I agree with Tom Brady.
Yeah, so do I. And like a lot of people do, like people will say Aaron Rodgers might not be the greatest quarterback of all time, but he is the greatest thrower of all time. You watch that throwing motion that they tweaked on from when he came out of college. Dude's arm talent is off the fucking charts. He can make every single throw, the different launch angles that he uses, and he still has it. And he was making throws last year that were like in the prime of his career, and he's at the twilight of his career. He's making throws that quarterbacks wish they could have made. He still has that. Now, if the line improves, you give him just a half second more, because he's still elite processing. Now he has better weapons around him, a better scheme around him. I think we're going to see one last good run out of Aaron Rodgers. This could be his last hurrah, because he's not as mobile. You can see, like, he's starting to get those the lead weights around his ankles when he tries to take off running, but he still has a little wiggle when needed. And you combine that with still having an elite arm, he's still a dangerous quarterback back there. And as far as bad as an offense we had last year, he put up numbers that put him in like the top 10 quarterback range. For yardage,
Absolutely.
touchdown to interception ratio, and shit like that. Like, it wasn't a great season, but it wasn't this terrible season that a lot of people were making it out to be.
Again, I just think you could get a guy like this that's still serviceable. Again, Russell Wilson wasn't the case, where Aaron Rodgers seems to be the case. So again, his throwing motion can be somewhat unorthodox, as you see, Mike. Almost puts you in mind of what Uncle Rico, the way he just kind of flips the ball on Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel confident with where we're at. I'm feeling good about this season. That's not changed at all. I'm continuing to feel good again, as we are just a tad over a month away from training camp in Westmoreland County here in Western Pennsylvania. A lot of people very excited. I know that people are making their plans, getting ready to make the trek to Western PA. I certainly know that we have quite a few people on the board that's going to be doing just that. So everyone is excited, Mike. We're just a little over a month away. However, the quarterback situation is obviously it's a big question here. There's no two ways about it, Mike. People are putting up Mason Rudolph trade partners, possibly. They're throwing out the New York Jets. They're throwing the Cardinals, the Colts, all these names as it comes down to it. And again, we aren't going to know what's going to happen for well over a month with these quarterbacks. Mike Aller, he still has a contract to sign. So, I mean, I'm glad that we have Aaron Rodgers sitting there first and foremost in the front, being a leader, showing up early this year, meeting people, meeting the new coaches. Again, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with this team. And you know what? I feel comfortable more than anybody else in this division. And I'm not just saying that because we don't like the teams in this division, Mike. I'm looking around at this division. They're all kind of have their own little mess in a way. And yet the team that puts it together, the team that looks like they have it together and things are moving, we're the ones the media always want to continue to bash. I'm sure they're going to have us in last place again, Mike. As yesterday, we talked briefly about the the playmakers from last year.
Yeah.
They had us at 21 at this point last year. Playmakers this year in the league, with all the additions we make, they have us at 21. So again, no surprise, guys.
Yeah.
It'd be what it be.
It be what it be is like the perfect epithet for the media analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It be what it be. They're just gonna say shit because God forbid they actually do a modicum of research. Like, even if you don't, national media, local media, a little hint here. If you don't want to do all the hours of research, there's plenty of sources out there where you can just type it and then they'll go and get it for you. And all you have to do is do a quick little fact check to find out if it's right. It's a little hint for you guys so you don't come off sounding like idiots. You can, maybe watch people or read people who actually follow the team inside and out and report on them every day and come up with factual arguments, in logical arguments, in logical statements of how this team has gotten better year over year over year. It may not look like it, but the little things that have been done for the past 4 to 5 years to get the team where they are now, to where they're ready to take off, because this team is loaded with a lot of young talent and some veterans that can still play at a high level.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, we're talking a little bit about these AFC. I'm going to do this, Mike, and then we're going to get back to the board. I know that we're getting a little behind today. I apologize, everybody. Today, let's talk about this just briefly because we're talking about the AFC North and quarterbacks. This, Mike, is being said according to somebody in Pittsburgh. That's what I was just going to say real quick. Maybe that's what they're doing, Mike. Maybe that's the problem. The national media is listening to the local Pittsburgh sports media, and this is why their takes are so effed up. I don't know. Just a consideration. Just knowing that what goes on sometimes here in the Pittsburgh media, perhaps they are going by them, and that's why things sound crazy. But Mike, let's get to the reason that I may be saying this. Mike, this is according to a Pittsburgh sports radio show. This person says Lamar is surpassing Ben as the greatest quarterback to ever play in the AFC North. Mike, one more time, just so people don't think they misheard this. That's right. According to Pittsburgh sports radio, Mike, just yesterday, this was said. It says Lamar is surpassing Ben as the greatest quarterback to ever play in the AFC North. This is what I mean, Mike. The Pittsburgh media is putting great stuff out like this. Why? No wonder the national media is
right. Lamar, yeah, he's 2-time league MVP. He has some awesome regular seasons. Regular seasons. Regular seasons. Talk to me when he's won 2 Super Bowls. Talk to me when he's
Exactly.
made a Super Bowl. Okay, like I like Lamar. I think he's a fun player to watch. Exciting player. You know, market maybe that's why the league markets him. He's fun. He's what brings the eyeballs. But like we talked about the other day, man, with Terry Bradshaw, might not be the greatest regular season quarterback ever, but my God, you put him in the fucking Super Bowl, look the fuck out. Lamar, when you put him in the playoffs, you want to look out the other way if you're a Ravens fan. You want to turn your head from the TV because it's going to be a shit show. Whereas Ben, when Ben got into the postseason, you knew there was a damn good chance you might make the Super Bowl. There's a damn good chance you're going to win a couple games. There's a good chance you're going to get to an AFC Championship game. With Lamar, you haven't made it out of the divisional round yet. Lamar Jackson is the Alexander Ovechkin of the NFL. You just can't get past the second round. Like Ovi eventually did it. Now the question will be, will Lamar ever to be able to do it? Then if he gets one Super Bowl, we can have a conversation. We can start to have a conversation. Because it's hard to win one. It's hard to win two as well. You win one, we can have this conversation about Lamar. But right now it's a non-starter. Because you're ultimately judged by what you do in the postseason as well. And he hasn't done anything.
He's done nothing. Here's the thing. Like, listen, he's another media sweetheart, in my opinion. To have how many ever MVPs the guy has. Listen, the guy's never been in a Super Bowl, not even winning a Super Bowl, not winning 2 Super Bowls, not playing in 3 Super Bowls to be better than the guy of a point right here. Mike, the guy has never even been there. To say this guy's been an MVP twice, we beat this guy. Listen. We've beat this team 10 of the last 11 regular season games. This guy is a league MVP twice. I tell you who's an MVP. Somebody that you have a hard time playing and beating. And why does this team, Baltimore, underachieve every freaking year? Why are they supposed to win the division and start 1-5? Because he's just not that great. Is he good? Absolutely. I followed him since Louisville. I loved him then. I love his style. And again, I think his age and injuries are starting to make that dissipate. But at the end of the day, he's just not great. He's not great. And with all the players, the teams that were built around him, he should have at some point been somewhere further along, is all I'm saying, Mike. And again, a goofy message again by a reporter. I won't even say his name, Mike, here in the Pittsburgh media. He says that Lamar is surpassing Ben as the greatest quarterback to ever play. And this exact bullshit here, this is exactly why people believe it, because idiots like this make these comments and say these things. There's literally zero to prove it. In saying that he's worth all the MVP shit, bullshit. We just had this conversation about pass rushers. We had this conversation about other things. It's all about the media. It's all about popularity. It's all about that. It's the face of the league. People will have to keep tuning in. That's what it's all about at the end of the day for the company, the business. Mike, he is very good. He's not great. And again, to even say that he's surpassing Ben as the best quarterback in the division. And again, look at the numbers. As Mike said, Ben still sits inside the top 10 in passing yards all time.
Yeah.
To even have him in this conversation, it's gross.
It is. Like you said, we both like Lamar. I love watching him play, especially when we play him, because you're wondering how he's going to choke even more. But no, like the total package, you got to put it together. He does not have the playoff success that Ben does. It's until you get to that level, it's a non-starter, man. Like I said, if you would have won a Super Bowl, let's have that. We could have a conversation, because at that point, now you're going to start comparing rosters and shit like that, blah 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 blah. But no, you got to win a Super Bowl before we can say you're the best to come out of the AFC North. I'm sorry, unless you're putting up historic numbers, and then you have like shit teams around you. No, but you got good teams around you, man, and you're finding ways to lose, and so are your teammates. You guys are all choking equally. So no, it's not like you're head and shoulders better than everyone, dragging no names to the Super Bowl or into the playoffs. You got damn good players around you, bro, and you're fucking up, and they're fucking up now.
and I don't like to do, but I'm going to jump down to the top here real quick, Mike, just because a couple messages just came through. Lindsay's saying, Mike, if Burrow stayed healthy, he would be better than Lamar. And Christine says this: they have a bias against Pittsburgh, which again we've known this our whole lives. Sometimes we try to push it out of our minds, but it's obvious, it's apparent, guys. Christine says they have a bias against Pittsburgh and literally have zero idea what they're talking about. They want Lamar to win so bad they think they could speak it into fruition. That seems to be the case because as far as numbers, as far as anything of importance and relevance, Mike, there's nothing else telling me that this guy is anywhere near Ben and his success in being the best quarterback ever in the AFC North.
No, not even close. And yeah, at least Joe Burrow made a Super Bowl.
Joe Burrow made a Super Bowl. You're right.
Yeah, and he wasn't the reason the team lost.
Where's MVP? Lost. You're right. He wasn't. It was actually a good game. Like where's multiple MVP Lamar at?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow got there. So that's your good point on that. To the ladies, of course, the gals on the board. Like a few things here. Let's continue to move in this direction. Where was I going? I do want to touch on this, but I don't know if I'm going to do it just yet. Let's just touch on these couple small things first. Mike, again, the Steelers are named. The Steelers are named a landing spot for a possible landing spot for the All-Pro. Stephon Diggs. Richard Sherman comes out on his show and he makes this comment. Again, I don't need it. I don't love it. I don't go to sleep thinking about it. But if Stephon Diggs was in our wide receiver room and knew his role and everybody played accordingly, I think that we would be just fine. And I think it would be a nice depth piece. And again, if he could come out having a damn good season, because he is Stephon Diggs at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that can't hurt us, Mike.
No, he was still like what 1,100 yards last year.
Yeah.
A decent amount of touchdowns, a lot of catches. But the thing is, though, like, is he going to be willing to be the number 3 option of just the receivers? You know, Pittman and DK are going to be outside guys. You know, is he willing to play an inside?
That seems to be the issue. Yeah.
You know, will he do that? Because you don't want to move Pittman or DK inside, so it's like, where would he fit? Like, this isn't Madden. That's the thing. Right. If this was Madden, fuck yeah, sign me up with Stephon Diggs. I'll put him wherever I want. But where would he fit in the offense? Where now you got Jeremy, who you're really high on, who you're hoping he would be the number 3. Do you want to stunt his development by getting someone who's going to, by talent and probably by ego, is going to want a lot of the action? You know, and will his personality gel with the team that they're trying to build too? And that's another thing that we always overlook is like, how else is whoever they bring in going to fit in with the rest of the team?
Right
now, like I love him as a player, but with all of his baggage that he tends to go carry with him everywhere he goes, and that luggage grows, do we want more of that here? Or do we want less of that? Because we've been trying to ship those guys out for the past handful of years. I don't want to come in and go out there and bring one in while we're so close to almost putting the cherry on top of what we've been building for the past 4 years.
Yeah, at the end of the day, and from what you're just saying and what I'm seeing, you know, at the top of the screen, Mike, it's kind of a toxic thing. I think Stephon Diggs, he just kind of carries that baggage with him now everywhere he goes, and you're just kind of expecting there to be issues if he was involved on your squad. So again, I don't love it, I don't need it, I don't lose any sleep. But me, again, at the end of the day, Mike, if he could come in and kind of do his job and just shut the fuck up, get out there and do exactly what it is that you just said, I would be more than happy to have him. But at the end of the day, this is why I don't love him. This is why I don't need him. And this is why I'm not losing any sleep, Mike, because I know that we're probably better off without him.
Yeah, if we didn't go out and steal Pittman from the Colts, I would be all for it. Like, yes, put him, DK, Jeremy, fuck yeah, round out the room. But we went and made our move right there. Because if you go and get him, you're going to have literally like your number 1 receiver is probably going to end up with like 600 yards. Your number 2 receiver is going to end up with like another 600 yards. Your number 3 is going to end up with like 500 yards. Yeah. Your top 2 tight ends are probably have 400 yards between them. Not that that matters, but that's how the production is going to have to be spread out. And are those guys going to be okay with it? You would like to think so because, hey, we're winning. But at the same time, you know, they're pro athletes. They want the ball. They have shit in their contracts for getting milestones. They're going to want the ball. Yeah. The quarterback's going to, hey, let me help you get to where you need to get to as well, because it's going to help the team win, help you get some extra money too. The players think about that. They know this shit. So if you add someone else into that mix, man, all those egos, everyone wanting the same ball. It might be too much.
I agree. Ultimately, I do agree. And everybody knows that Pittsburgh is pretty much 100% as far as the fan base. I've personally had way too much Brandon Ayuk in my life. Again, he's fighting right now. He wants to become a Washington commander, but people are still kind of keeping him in the conversation, which I don't want him anywhere. And you're talking about toxic, Mike. Again, I think 99% of Pittsburgh fan base is out with the capital O on Brandon Ayuk.
Dude, Brandon Ayuk did this team a huge favor by double crossing us.
I agree.
Or triple crossing us or quadruple crossing us. However that drama went down. It's, we had the deal worked out. We had the contract worked out. So all San Francisco had to do was execute the trade because we had the trade parameters worked out. And then they talked to him like, hey man, what did they give you? Hey man, we can do that with a little more. And he took it and then got hurt and then just be turned into a complete nutcase. I forget who said it, that he is AB without AB's talent.
You know what? I couldn't agree more, Mike.
Or something along those lines. I saw that. I was like, that's perfect. That's what he's speed running the tail end of AB's career without the talent and legacy.
San Fran really thought they got one over on us, didn't they?
I know, right?
Who got the last laugh?
I know, right? It sucks that we didn't have a receiver for 2 years, but my God, it worked out in the long run.
And you know what? And they get Tater Tart as a new fan. So, who's really winning at the end of the day? Guys.
New series. Tater and Ayuk. Let them go on adventures together.
I like it. I like it. Mike, speaking of AB, this is a good opportunity to get into some AB talk. A couple things came up over the past couple of days. One by way of LaShawn McCoy, one by way of Pac-Man Jones. A couple stories. AB's been gone for, I don't know, about 8 years now, but the stories, they're not going anywhere. Mike, I'm going to go with let's go with the Pac-Man Jones one first. Yeah. Pac-Man Jones coming out yesterday saying this, guys. He's saying that he believes that AB faked that big injury back in the playoff game against the Bengals back in the day. Everybody remembers the game with Perfect and Pac-Man Jones and AB and Mike. Pac-Man Jones is so convinced that AB was faking that injury. After it happened, he says that he even winked at Pac-Man to confirm this.
Pac-Man, that's not winking, that's the body convulsing. Yeah, like you ever, like kill like a little insect, crush it all the way and the nerves are still firing.
Yeah.
That's what happened there. He's winking at him in Morse code.
Yeah, I kind of tend to think that AB's probably been a nut his whole life. You get stories from college, things like this, but at the end of the day, Pac-Man, he gets on my nerves just as much as anybody else. He tries to put really interesting stuff out sometimes, and at the end of the day, I don't know. The guy fucking winked. What the fuck you gonna do?
He winked at me. It was his whispering eye.
It was like an episode of Seinfeld. You know what I mean?
The second spinner. He winked at me.
Right. And then the other part of this, Mike, LaShawn McCoy coming out yesterday and saying this, he says, this is the true reason, Mike. He says that AB left the Steelers. This according to, of course, former Pitt Panther, former NFL great, in my opinion. LaShawn McCoy says that him and AB had the same agent.
Yeah.
Drew Rosenhaus. And I love this name. It's a perfect Steeler agent name with Rosenhaus. Rosenhaus, Mike, from having them both having him as their agent, he did say this. He says AB did not want to leave the Steelers. He says he did not want to leave the Steelers. The Steelers told him he has to go.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you start becoming a disruptive nutcase and you cried because you weren't team MVP and they gave it to Juju.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And that's really what it was because statistically Juju had a better year than AB, but it's because all the attention was on AB. So I kind of get where AB's coming from, but that was the tipping point from like, dude, this team kept a lot of your crazy shit under wraps, bro. Yeah. They protected you. You were so obsessed with the 5 catches, 50-yard record that no one knew about but you, that they were force feeding you the ball at the end of games just to get that, just to placate you, so you would be there and be happy and produce. Like, AB has no one to blame but himself, and to have like LaShawn McCoy come out there and say this, I read this stuff and I just laughed. I'm like, it's totally not what happened at all. like some of it's true. Like it was the tipping point of Juju being the team MVP, and he freaked out. But how many times was Ben passed over as team MVP, and he never said a word, just went out there and did his job. Like
I mean, even the year he threw 5,100 yards and led the league, I don't think he won the team MVP.
I don't think he was ever team MVP.
5,100 yards, lead the league in passing yards, and you're not even your team's MVP. But yet Juju. So again, it's more. This is more of a politic thing at the end of the day. Team MVP, to me, it's more about politics than anything else, because I don't think that Juju should have been the MVP of the team that year. But at the end of the day, that's how it plays out. Mike, it is off season. Again, we're talking AB. Just goes to show you we're ready some football for some Steeler football guys. It's going to be starting at training camp in just a month and 2 days. The season in just 79 days. I'm ready to get back into some live action, some live news, some live football, Mike, because again, you're getting to the end of the wait when the conversations are about AB, who hasn't been on a team in a long time.
2009, he was team MVP. Ben was.
Ben.
Yeah.
And he probably should have been that year. He was a super, So, but it is what it is. And also, AB ended out doing just fine. He ended out teaming up with Gronk and Tom Brady and Godwin and Fournette and the other receiver that Tampa has. It's slipping my mind at the moment. So he did all right. He went and got himself a Super Bowl. The easy way, if you will. There's teams that will never get there. But some of these teams like this, Mike, all you have to do is join and you get the ring. So he did fine for himself. He got his ring, whatever. I think the next controversy about him should be all the Hall of Fame talk when it does start.
Like, if he didn't walk off the field and take his jersey off, and that's the last thing we ever saw from him in the NFL, I think he's a guaranteed locked-on Hall of Famer. Put that right there. You quit. You quit on the team. You quit on the game. That's going to be hard. That's part of your legacy as on-field play. It's going to be held against you. It should just be about the numbers, but you quit. You quit on the team, and that's voters are going to hold that, heavily. And I think they should. But I think he should eventually be a Hall of Famer. He's arguably one of the great top 3 wide receivers of all time.
They won't put him in as far in the Hall of Fame as what Lindsay is saying. Let's get back to the board. We do have some more things to get into. And today I do apologize. It's kind of off just a way by the information and stories that we do have heading into the weekend. We're trying to keep everything out there. And we're trying to continue doing everything like we normally do. So we do apologize. Let me jump right here. Corey says this. What happened yesterday? I tuned in and you guys said, oh, fuck, he's here. Let's get the fuck out of here. LOL.
Exactly.
Great seeing you. You know that, Corey. Always great seeing Corey on the Terrible Board. As a matter of fact, he has some really good stuff up just recently I've been really getting into. Do go check Corey out right here on YouTube at Don't Drink That. Great podcast, guys. The original OG Inter Joseph is where CBS ranked JPJ bottom 50. Damn. Let's jump down just a hair here, guys. Not too many, but I am going to jump down just a little bit. I'm going to go right here. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, Mark, if anything, it would be Eccles gets traded to the Lions. Of course, Mark is saying that JPJ is going to the Lions. Tortilla says, just because we can get something doesn't mean we should trade him. That's how you end up like the Sacramento Kings, trading all your good players because they are valuable. They are valuable for a reason. Now they can go be valuable elsewhere, and you won't have that value, right? Let's continue right here. Mark Malone, I won't be surprised when a trade gets done. Lindsay says, we aren't trading JPJ, dude. Just Learning says this, at my Walmart, they sell sex toys. Huh. You know something I saw one time? Like I seen at a flea market, somebody selling vibrators. Now, they were boxed as such that they never been used before. But who would buy a vibrator at a flea market?
No. I'm not one to kink shame. I'm not one to hey, do whatever you need to do to get your rocks off, within reason. As long as it's legal, get your jollies. But if you're that down bad, you're buying sex toys at a flea market, it might be time to reevaluate some life choices. I'm not judging. I'm just saying maybe look within yourself. What brought you to this point?
It was an indoor flea market in Joe Namath's very hometown, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. I went in there. I was looking around one time, probably about 20 years ago. and they just called them massagers. But as you look at them, they're very much vibrators. And again, get your vibrators at the flea market. There you go. Yeah.
You never know. Maybe they buy them wholesale. They can sell them cheap. They got a little market that we don't know about. But there's certain things I would not buy at a flea market, and a sex toy is one of them.
I mean, come on. Can you imagine going to the consignment shop and seeing them there?
I don't know. Like Cody might be the kind of guy that would buy a secondhand pocket pussy.
Well, yes, Cody, of course.
Cody would, and we know there's no self-reflection there. There's hell yeah and good times and good vibes. So that's understandable.
Yeah. And I'll never forget that. I'm in there looking around. There's junk. Oh, there's a vibrator. Let's go down here to Mark Maloney. He says Dunker IMAX will both be big for us this year. Tortilla, he says JPJ agent is Andre Odom. He also represents 19 other players in the NFL. You're just framing JPJ's agent as only JPJ's agent. Let's go here to Lindsay. I can't wait for Dunker. I'm very a lot of people have certainly here in the Berg. Lindsay, I mean, you're no different. You're here in the Berg with us. This is going to be, he has the traits of something that Pittsburgh people love. Is it the mullet? Is it the red? I don't know. But he certainly has the traits to be a fan favorite here in Pittsburgh. I can't wait for him either. Let's go to Mark Maloney. He says Everett too. Let's say what's up to Jamie. Jamie Carlo back on the board. Yo. Great seeing Jamie as well, my man. Great to have you back. All is going well. We are just a month and 2 days away from training camp. Let's go to what makes you think that? Mark Malone. Tyrone says Everett is good. He might be able to put Battle. He might be able to put Battle, Samuels, or Eccles, maybe though. Steel Loyal, love seeing Steel Loyal on the terrible board. He says this, so I missed the action yesterday. Can y'all reenact it for me? LOL. Just kidding. Glad to see y'all live. You as well, my man. Great to see you, Steel Loyal, all the way from North Carolina. My man, hope you're having a great day. It's smile, everybody. It's the weekend. It's Friday. We ain't got shit to do, but we do have training camp coming in a month. So you know what? Summer vibes. Let's keep this thing going, baby. Let's go right here to right about here. Jamie says this. Jamie says yesterday was my 56th birthday and had surgery on my left foot. Get home, witnessed a tantrum for the first time on a Steeler podcast. What a day, baby. We doing better than anybody right here on the Two Dum Yinzers, but I am glad to hear that your surgery has gone well. Yeah. You're home, and I want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jamie. The big 56. Mike Lamar Woodley.
Ooh, good number. Good birthday.
And speaking of which, Mike, today we were 79 days out. I wanted to just make a mention to your friend. I want to throw the shout out to your boy, Trey Essex, Mike, as he was number 79. So we were Trey Essex days away from kicking off. Let's move on. Happy birthday, everybody's saying. Absolutely, my man. Happy birthday to you. We're so glad to see you, Jamie. Hope all is well for you. Tortilla says, when I Googled JPJ trade, it said Jackson Powers Johnson. JPJ will resign. Yinzer Joe says, I think Max Hurlman would make the roster before Nichols. See, I kind of have them two guys in the same category. I seen a little that I liked from both of them, and then I seen some that I didn't like, and don't think that they belong quite on the 53. But we will see this year, Mike, because again, Johnson just didn't play out the way that people thought that he was going to. So just that running back depth competition in preseason and camp is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and then have to factor in Heidenreich as well. How well can he transition as a 7th round pick, and can he jump any of those guys? And you got to remember, like KJ wasn't a McCarthy pick. Lou Nichols wasn't a McCarthy re-sign. These guys kind of carried over from the last regime. So, is that going to hold any weight? Like, hey, I want to keep my guys. I don't want to keep the guys that were here that came before me. And that happens no matter who the coach is. So there's a lot of factors that are going to go into this, especially the bottom end of the rosters. You might at that point want to start keeping the guys that you drafted, the guys that you wanted to bring in, other than the leftovers from the last coaching staff.
Mike, this is one of the reasons that I'm more interested in this training camp than I have been in a long time. And I'm talking a long time. I'm not talking about the Tomlin era. I'm not talking about the Cowher era. I'm talking as a Steeler fan because, Mike, there is so many battles on this team. And again, you know where the 53 is coming from. Listen, there's a lot of guys that you listen. You know who's going to be on the 53. You know who's not. There's just a few here and there. But at the end of the day, I find there's a lot of positional battles this year, Mike, that you hadn't seen in the past with the running back room. I mean, this is depth we're worried about, but the quarterback situation. I mean, there are things going on, and under the new coaching staff. Again, I said it wasn't about Tomlin and it wasn't about Cowher, and I'm not saying that I'm not changing my wording. I'm just saying, Mike, this is the first time that we're going to see battle happen that is going to be legit battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Mike Tomlin knew about the young guys that come up through the system. These guys see these guys all the time. They know more about them than believe me, than we even know. But at the end of the day, it is a new coaching staff. It is a new system. It is new guys all around. So for that reason, Mike, I am just so interested. I cannot wait. I mean, obviously, it's a three-pronged thing. You get to camp, then you get preseason games, and then you get to the regular season. This whole next group, this whole block of things that's coming, like those three things, I am so excited for. We're going to learn a lot about our Steelers. We've said this in the past. I'm not going to change my narrative there. We're going to learn a lot about this Steeler team this fall. And again, when we crack the regular season in September, this one is going to be a blast. And again, Mike, I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about this team this year.
Oh, I think so too, man. Like you and I have been talking about for years now, man. Like they've been building to this time, to this team, and we're seeing it. And there's a lot of good talent. And if the main battles that we have are like who's going to be the backup safety, who's going to be the who's going to be the fourth string running back,
right?
The roster's pretty damn good. It's a pretty solid roster. Yeah, you might have some offensive line who's going to be the left side or right side. You can go through rookies or your veterans or a mix thereof. But you kind of know the names that are going to be there in the starting spot. It's the depth, the fringe guys. Yeah, the depth, and that's where you can win and lose on your season. If the wrong depth guy, because your top guys go out, you can be kind of screwed. So these are very important things to watch. And McCarthy wants guys who can do a lot of different things. Caleb Johnson made that
point early, you know.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson, he's still working on catching passes out of the backfield. Lou Nichols has been bounced around the NFL for a couple teams for the past 3 to 4 years now. Eli Heinrich, man, he can play wide receiver, he can play running back, has a lot of traits that they like. That might give him the advantage of those guys, because we know they brought in signed Homer from Chicago. He can play running back. There's
a name that nobody's.
He's going to be your main protector in the punt thing. The guy who runs the punt unit. Mm-hmm. He's the new. I forget the guy who just left.
Miles Killebrew.
Thank you. He's the new Miles Killebrew. So he's kind of set. So battling for the fourth running back spot. You got 3 guys fighting for that spot. It's going to be rough. And you got some battles at safety as well. So you're kind of set everywhere except for those couple positions.
And I think that's intriguing. Again, in the past, Mike, going from season to season as coaches do, the coaches of the past, they know these guys. They know what they have. Yeah. And basically, as I said, it's very easy to predict the 53-man generally. This is what's going to make this year interesting, Mike. Those backup jobs, those depth pieces, they're going to be a big part because, as you mentioned, Mike, here's the thing. The NFL is a league where your season can change in a play.
Yeah.
A play because of a player going down, and then you have to drop down to the next tier. Other teams know this. They learn this. They adapt. They play you accordingly. So to have your depth pieces in a good position, that just makes you a better all-over team.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have the best team, but at the end of the day, it goes well beyond the starters. And most of the times, those guys play a bigger role than most people know that tune in and watch football every weekend.
Yeah, and we don't know, is McCarthy is he going to want to carry more wide receivers than offensive linemen and defensive?
Right.
Or is he going to want more DBs than linebackers and stuff like that? So then now it's even more nebulous as who's going to make the roster, because you knew we kind of like to have X amount of offensive linemen under Tomlin. So that limited how many running backs, tight ends, wide receivers you were going to have. Mike McCarthy, he might want more. And maybe try and stash some linemen on the practice squad if needed. Where it was the other way around. We stashed some skill position players on the practice squad. So we don't know, man. Like you said, exciting because it's a whole new philosophy coming into it.
I'm excited.
After 18 years, you can more or less just close your eyes and you knew who was going to be on the team.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. I am. Listen, I want everything to work out with our Steelers, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I don't, maybe everything. Listen, winning is going to fix everything. Winning is going to fix everything, and everybody's kind of, we got cabin fever, if that's even a term that you would use. We've gone through 10 years without winning a playoff game, and everybody's just kind of chomping at the bit to get back out there, guys. I don't care about nothing besides getting this team to where they can win and getting back at it and winning some games in January, possibly being a team mentioned that could be making a nice run. Just getting back to the area that Steeler fans are accustomed to, not because we're spoiled, because our team is awesome. There's no two ways about it, guys. We are one of the best teams in the league, hands down, all time. And again, across the board in the major sports, going across all four, the Pittsburgh Steelers are up there. So we just want to get back to that level. I don't think that's too much to ask, guys. Let's get back at it. Let's get some wins. Let's get some wins in the postseason. Let's talk some Super Bowl. Let's talk some championship weekend. This is all we want. Again, we're not, we understand we're not going to be crowned champions every fucking year. It's never going to happen. If anybody knows, we know what the Super Bowl game is better than everybody else, the way it plays out, the way that. So again, at the end of the day, let's get back to doing what we do. It doesn't mean anything to me at all, besides the new coaching situation. I just felt overall we needed to go a different direction. I'm happy with it. Let's go. Let's win games. And you know what? Down the road, we'll handle this again whenever it happens. It comes up in the future, and that's just the way that it is, baby. It's all about the black and gold. Let's get back on the terrible board right here. Lindsay, I do hope that you did get to your break. I see that Lindsay was she was waiting for her smoke break, waiting. The time, I'm sure, was just dragging along to get there. Tyrone, he says this. He says, Mark, so you actually believe the Steelers would trade the best player like that? What makes you think that not one source never said that? Mark Malone says, I'm not much of a told you guy. Corey says this. Corey says, how the fuck they're going to say Ben didn't have it anymore when he dropped wide open catches? So many. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly the greatest. That 11-0 year was very bizarre in a lot of ways. Let's go here. Yinzer Joe says this. The Steelers and JPJ's agent had a Zoom chat with the Lions. A trade is in the works. Let's go here too. No, I feel I know the feeling, Lindsay. I'm glad that you got there, sister. Let's continue right here. Let's go. Lindsay says this. She says, is this actually true? Are you guys trolling? Let's go back to Tortilla. I can't find literally anything on JPJ, this agent or his agent or the Steelers talking with the Lions. I wouldn't put too much into that. Too much stock into that, Tortilla. Tyrone says we're trading you, Yinzer Joe. We're trading you. Let's go down just a little bit more, guys. I'm going to skip a little bit here. I want to go to Petunia. Petunia, well, I do want to say welcome to the show, Petunia Well 42. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Petunia says, fun fact, Pittsburgh streets were designed by Helen Keller.
Yes.
That's good. You know what? Game ball to Petunia. Game ball.
That is on fucking point. It's the truest sentence I've ever read in my life.
Yes, they were. Petunia, thank you for that. You do get the game ball. Lindsay says, I know they're are they talking? Let's go here. Let's go. I'm going to scoot down a little bit more just to kind of get up to date. Let me just jump right here. I'm seeing a bunch of emoticons. Let me go right past that. 100%. Christine says, what the holy hell are they even talking about? And he is surpassing Ben when he is only going downhill at this point. Again, there's that hate on Pittsburgh, on the Steelers. That's what happens when you're the big dog. People always say, well, you haven't won a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. Catch up and then talk your shit, please. Catch up and then talk your shit. Okay, we haven't won a Super Bowl since 2009. Where are you at? Let's do scoot along. Josh Allen is better than Lamar. That's debatable. I think Mike would disagree. I do agree with this one. But again, you know what? I think they're very close in the same category. Guys that continue to choke, put in great positions, given the opportunity, and they just don't get it done. So I think you're probably splitting hairs here. I lean Allen. Mike leans Lamar. But again, I think we both have the same argument at the end of the day, Mike.
Yeah, they're both choke artists. They've choked themselves. Their teammates have choked for them when they've given their teammates to do something. They're career paths are parallels, man. They're like the photo negative of each other. It is just you watch them play, you see the same strengths and weaknesses from both of them.
I agree. I that's the thing.
I like them both, but like my God, like one game their receivers drop a pass, the next game they're fumbling 12 times. So it's like you guys are doing the same thing, man.
Oh, you're right. And again, I think either guy that you go, you have the same exact arguments about. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says the Ravens get propped up by the media and everything. I couldn't agree more. I don't know why. I don't know why. But at the end of the day, when you got it, you got it. They just don't got it, guys. So let's let them keep propping. We'll keep winning the division. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but you know what? It feels great when I say it, Mike. We've beat them 10 of the last 11 regular season games. If anybody in the league did that to any other team, it would be a conversation. It's just crazy how they baby the Ravens.
It is. I don't understand it. Never have, never will.
I know.
Like I don't know. I'm at a loss for. I'm literally at a loss for words.
A little bit more on this. Lamar better than Ben. Lindsay agrees. She says yes. Tortilla. Jamie Carlos says that's crazy that the Pittsburgh media put that out. I can understand maybe Baltimore media, but Pittsburgh media is a very weird thing. I just do want to say that. Lamar is a bum, is what Tyrone is saying. Let's go right here to Christine. And Lamar is lucky. He is as good as he is because he wouldn't be winning any MVPs with that face. He is ugly, isn't he? Lamar, let's go right here to Lindsay agrees. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says the NFL needs to do something about these round one rookies not signing their contracts. They shouldn't have any leverage with no actual NFL experience to go off. You know what? And I never really paid much attention to this, to be honest with you, Joe. I know that Drew Aller is in the situation right now. I know that Fernando Mendoza is in the situation. I know that Carson Beck is in the situation. So, we said that, don't put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. He's not even signed when he wasn't here. But yet the show goes on, even though Drew Aller has not signed yet. So perhaps this does need to be looked at. Lindsay says, doubt that. Just learning says Lamar better than Ben and Flowers better than Ben and Flowers better than AB, right? Yeah, right. He's saying. Jello Donut, he says Diggs is a problem. F that. Jello, I do want to say what's up. Welcome back to the show. My man, always great seeing you. He said Diggs is a problem. F that. Mike, this is a good. I wanted to catch up with you on this one.
Yeah.
Right here. Yinzer Joe has a comment. He says, the NFL needs to do something about these round one rookies not signing their contracts. They shouldn't have any leverage with no actual NFL experience to go off of. And it's not even the round one guys. Let's even just take and I'm not jumping on him, but even a guy like Drew Aller, who's a couple rounds even later, where do these guys come off? I mean, we said, who cares what Aaron's doing? He's not under contract. Why do these guys have this leverage that has never even taken a snap in the NFL?
Well, they did do something. It's now every draft slot knows how much they're getting paid. Now it's just like, how's the guaranteed money going to get paid out? What are the roster bonuses and guarantees? How are they going to be structured? That's what a lot of teams are trying to work out right now. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that aren't signed. Like Mendoza and Ty Simpson, it's kind of like they're waiting to see who's going to sign first, because that's going to dictate how their contract is going to go, and then on down the line to the guys drafted in third, fourth, fifth round. So they kind of mirror each other on those quarterback contracts. So that's what's going on right there. Like the top two are holding up the process for a lot of the quarterbacks that are further down, just to see how their guaranteed money is kind of structured.
So it literally has
when it gets paid out,
do.
shit like that. Yeah, they everyone knows what they're gonna make. It's just when's the guarantees gonna get hit and shit like that. It's the weird little things in those contracts that aren't ironclad, that can be negotiated. But the price tag and how long they are, it's already there. It's just when and how they're gonna get their money.
All right, there you go, Yinzer Joe. Perhaps that could help. Let's move on. Let's go right here. Mike, don't drink that. Corey says, we don't need the drama. He says, go distract the Chiefs. Of course, when we're talking about Stephon Diggs, Just Learning says, in their dream, still loyal. I don't want Cardi B anywhere near Pittsburgh. Mike, who was Who was Russell Wilson's girlfriend?
Sierra.
Is that what it was? Sierra?
I think so, because I never heard of her, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Sierra!" I'm like, "Who the fuck's Sierra? Why am I caring about a Cialis commercial right now?"
We do.
And it was like no disrespect. I just never heard of her. Like
Yeah.
it's my sphere of influences never went to her genre. I did not know who she was.
Yeah.
I knew she was nice to look at, but you ask me anything about her, I fucking know.
Yeah, you know what? And the thing about Russ, he was such a good guy. I mean, there was never anybody ever really gave her any shit or any attention or really anything. You know, people, when they have a situation and they want to talk about it, they want to make a story. Russell was such a good dude. It was hard to make fun of her and, you know, kind of put her out. But at the end of the day, she was right there with him. Like when he was going to hospitals, children's hospitals every day, practice days, all the time. Russell Wilson did a lot of great things in Pittsburgh. Believe it or not, it's very true. A lot of, especially with kids in hospitals. Gotta love to see it. Let's go here.
Dude.
What's that?
He's a good dude. Weird dude, but good dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyrone says this. He says, that's just slow. Big Ben top all time and AB top 7 all time at their positions. I agree. And maybe that's the way other people validate their argument is they use the Steelers in a way that you would say, you know, maybe, you know, if your baseball team is looking good, well, we're good. We beat the Yankees, which makes the Yankees sound like they're losing, but it makes you sound good because by comparison, you beat the Yankees. So again, maybe this is what goes on. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's always fun to talk shit on the Steelers. When you are not a Steeler fan, Lindsay says, yeah, I really don't want him on my team talking about Diggs. Tortilla says Diggs would pipe down Aaron Rodgers' fake wife. Ooh, interesting. I do want to say what's up and welcome back to Robert. Great seeing. He says Bernard is the wide receiver 3 to start the season and will only move up. Going forward, Pittsburgh is just not Diggstown. Like, but it is something of Kingstown. What is this show going on here in Pittsburgh? I do know that they're taping some Mayor of Kingston.
Mayor of Kingston. I think
Kingston,
they filming around the Pittsburgh area, and they're in our little neck of the woods.
They are. They're right there at the prison. They do a lot of the. It's really neat. A couple of guys I know, a really good friend of mine actually. He's doing some kind of as a backup actor. What do they call that? A background person. And he was on social media showing off his like T-shirt and all this shit. So it was cool. What is it? Mayor of Kingston.
Mayor of Kingston, and I gotta say, Diggstown. I don't know if it was the reference to the Louis Gossett Jr. movie, but if it was, that is a deep cut, and I respect it.
All right, there you go, Mike. And I'm seeing right here, Still Loyal saying Mayor of Kingstown is a badass show. So yes, that is being recorded right here in the Berg. Let's see right here. Lindsay actually says this right at the top. She says they filmed at my job last year. Pissed me off. It's cool to everybody that's not being affected by it directly, I would have to assume. Let's continue. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, we got Bernard. We don't need no Diggs. Also, Steel Loyal says, laugh my ass off. Stephon Diggs' initials are SMD. That is interesting. SMD. I guess we could all do the use our imagination there. Lindsay says, absolutely no Ayuk. I don't even want to hear that name anymore. I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I am so Ayuked out after just
me too.
Everything. And here's the thing. When we had nothing, there was no, there was no help there. He was playing his games for leverage with San Francisco. We needed a guy. We didn't grab a guy 2 years ago at that other position because of him, basically. I have no love lost for Brandon Ayuk.
Dude, imagine him and George Pickens on the same team. With an Arthur Smith offense. Oh, baby, the fireworks.
They'd kill each other, all these guys.
Tomlin would have jumped off the Clemente Bridge. He's like, I'm too old for this shit. Funk.
And then give them a quarterback that can't give it to them. You know what I mean? Like we had the situation before Aaron.
Russell Wilson. And...
How about this? How about Mitch Trubisky as the quarterback in that situation?
Oh, that would have been fucking great.
Yeah.
That would be Jesus Christ, man.
Ayuk, GP, Mitch Trubisky, and Arthur Smith.
That would have been cinema.
Let's move along. Let's go right here to Lindsay. She says he blew his chance here, as did we yesterday, Mike. Apparently, there was boobs, and we missed it all. But you know what?
God damn it, Derpy and Finch.
I know. Yeah. Come on. Let's go right here to Robert. Robert says, we dodged a bullet with Ayuk and Lemon. Mark Malone says, let Ayuk work out with Sorsby. Lindsay says this. Lindsay says, I don't know about Lemon. I wanted him. I think that I'm going to be fine, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's go down to just learning. Tater pissed with the Ayuk talk. Steel loyally says, you can't fake hit. You can't fake that hit. You cannot fake that hit. Of course, going back to the conversation about AB, I think. Robert says this. Mikey says, IMAX will have a better career than Lemon, and so will Bernard.
I'm inclined to agree.
I hope you're right. Let's go forward here to Tortilla. He says, if AB was faking, prove it. Pac-Man should let James Harrison hit him, and we'll test the science. Lindsay says this. Tate was the one that I wanted. That dream got crushed quick. Corey says Brownomania ran wild on hotel room furniture. Lindsay says this. They won't put him in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Let's go here to. I love that. You know what? Since the name Browns did come up, Mike, here's one real quick funny side note here. Did anybody read this article? I didn't read the article. I seen it, and I just grabbed it as quick as possible. Mike, Deion Sanders is asking somebody for help for his son. Mike, he's asking for somebody in Cleveland for help working with his son. Deion Sanders, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what this story is all about. Mike, do you know anything about Deion Sanders asking for help? I need help with my son.
I don't know, but if it was to actually develop him into an NFL quarterback, maybe his college head coach should have hired a quarterback coach that would train and prepare the quarterbacks on your roster, not only for the college season, but for what they would need into the pros. But I just can't think of who his coach was and how neglectful that coach was. I'm surprised that coach would still be coaching.
And you know what else is crazy about that, Mike? You figure somebody that's so good that their college career, only 2 years, they ended up getting their number retired. You would think they would be doing a little bit better in the pros and wouldn't need their daddy to call and say, could somebody please help my son? That's what I'm saying, guys. I just don't like what I'm seeing. If I'm a Browns or Ravens, even a Bengals fan, Mike, I think that the Bengals, the other two are the two that I think are going to be the big disappointments as far as the Browns and the Ravens. But there's just another story within the AFC North that kind of makes you feel a little bit better with what we have going on.
Yeah, and there's reports that like the Browns might be are willing to trade Shador if Watson wins the quarterback battle. It's fucking great. I love it, man. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Cleveland.
I know. Steele says there's nobody in Cleveland that can help that. Let's go right here. Mark Malone, I still laugh about AB stroking his schlong in a public pool. Tyrone says, yeah, they won't put him in, but we know deep down he is. Lindsay says, yeah, but they aren't. Yeah, but they aren't with all his off the field antics too. No doubt about that, Lindsay. There we go. Now it's moving right for me. Mark Malone says this. Yeah, you can't really whip out your wang and stroke it while staring at some chick. They frown upon that.
It's got to find the right one.
Or join Islam. It's kind of anyway, that's a whole nother story, whole nother day. Let's go to Corey. Don't drink that. He says, is someone so hard pressed for a good come, I'd guess. Let's continue forward here. Tortilla says this. Where did Tortilla go? Why is it moving on me? Here it is. Tortilla says this. Buying a used dildo is like buying a used cheeseburger. Yeah. And not even an uneaten cheeseburger. It's like the eaten cheeseburger, man. That's Mark Malone don't want to drink that pool water. Also, Robert says, so somebody wanted a vibrator with experience. That was basically it, man. I remember running to my job and telling all the guys about it.
A vibrator with experience. That is great.
Mark Malone says maybe an antique plug in vibrator. Could also be a table centerpiece, Mark is saying. Corey says, oh, it's a centerpiece, all right. Let's move down here to Cody. Cody says this. Cody says, don't talk about Oksana like that. What is it?
Oksana.
Oksana like that. My dad gave me the pocket pussy, and every time I stick my humongous wiener in the pocket pussy, I think of my dad.
Okay, Thad Castle.
Jamie Carlo says, I had my Woodley jersey on yesterday. That's pretty awesome, man, for the big 5-6. Or did it just play out that way? That's pretty cool. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says this. Now, that's a jersey, Jamie. Mike, do you have a... No, you don't have a Woodley, do you? No, you got Harrison Bettis.
I got 2 Harrison Bettis and a Tone.
That's right. Mark Malone says, Johnson has always looked good catching the ball. To my eye, not much of a sample size, I know. Caleb Johnson's catch and run versus Nebraska is burnt into my brain. Mark Malone says, huh. Liam says, huh. Lindsay, I got there. Okay, of course, you got to that break. I'm glad. Sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you just need that. Tyrone says, I hope Caleb Johnson gets to play this year. Don't drink that. Allen gets the edge because they're same regular season QB, but Allen is more exciting to see in the playoffs. I just don't know. Hey, there's a brain fart or something with Lamar Jackson. I just don't get the difference in that man when he plays in the playoffs, when he plays the Steelers, except for when he plays the Steelers in the playoffs. I think they did beat us in that particular game. But again, Mike, in the playoffs, he just looks lost. He doesn't have that look in his eyes that you see when you talk about greatly successful quarterbacks. There's a look the guys have. He doesn't have that, especially in the playoffs.
No, he doesn't. He finds a way to choke it away.
Tends to look lost a lot of times.
Yeah, it's like all the confidence gets sucked out of him in the playoffs.
The thing is, he knows he's physically imposing. Of course, everybody knows that. But at the end of the day, when it's time to play chess instead of checkers, he seems to fail. Again, like in playoffs situations where the stakes are high, where people are really putting in the work. It's not just put the work in for the week, let's get to the next week. This is do or die. You win, you move on. You lose, you go home. And people put in the extra work in the postseason. And, a lot of times when it comes down to the chess, not checkers, that's when it seems like he falls apart, because very much like the Steelers, Mike, it's not checkers anymore. When it's the Ravens and the Steelers, it's like chess.
Yeah.
And the scores prove it, and the everything proves that. So, is it just something up here with the guy? Because it's certainly not. It's not the lack of talent. Yes, his age is starting to make starting to be a difference. Yeah. Also, the injuries he's endured during his career is a bit making a difference. But at the end of the day, Mike, he never has that. He just doesn't look confident in those games.
No, he doesn't. It's weird because he does possess all the tools to dominate those games. I don't know if the moment's getting too big for him, or he's putting too much pressure on himself, or he's thinking he has to do it all to be the one to carry the team there, not just playing like he normally plays. I don't know what it is. It's just I'm glad it happens, because it's fun to watch them collapse year after year after they talk their shit. But it's just one of those things. I just don't get it with them. And you see it in all sports with certain guys. Once they get to the playoffs, they suck. And then you got the other guys. You got guys like Jalen Hurts who can't do shit during the regular season. Playoff starts, and next thing you know, they're a top 5 quarterback. It's weird with the psyche of athletes.
And the funny thing about Lamar, I don't hate him. So if he went somewhere else and won a Super Bowl, I'd be just fine.
I'd be fucking happy for him.
Good for him.
Not in the purple and black.
Absolutely. Same with Burrow. Same with even Shador. If he was anywhere else out of our division, I wouldn't care. Yeah. Especially out of the conference. If these guys were out of conference, have at it. Do your thing and be successful. Be great. But as long as you're here, I don't want any is doing anything of that nature. Let's move along. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says those bastards will all sign 1, 2, 3 very soon. Lindsay says Aller got balls if he thinks he's worth something big. Mark Malone says once Mendoza signs, the dominoes will fall. That seems like it's going to be the case. Tyrone says we're not signing Frazier or Troy. Mark just got the report. Mike, that is another side note that I have here next year. Mike, there's going to be a lot of contracts on the offensive side of the ball next year, mainly on this offensive line. So whatever goes down with JPJ, I believe it's going to get taken care of. Again, there's just some other moves, Mike, that kind of make me think that these other moves aren't going to be taken care of. Again, Benton's one for me, and then Queen after this season. They could be 2 guys that could very well be not on this team next year.
Yeah, in those positions, you address in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
You definitely like the big money to Herbig and Washington. It kind of makes the negotiations for Troy your left tackle, and JPJ, your number one shutdown corner. Kind of difficult because those are the two most important positions on the team outside of quarterback. We're giving big money to tight ends and edge rushers, so it's going to be interesting to see how those deals work out, especially if Fatanu takes this big leap like we were anticipating this year.
I hope that he does. I just hope that it doesn't come overwhelming. I know that he has experience. I just, again, there's a lot of change on the offensive line, and we talked about that the other day. That kind of worries me. It's not my biggest concern, as we were saying, was mentioned, Mike. That was the conversation. But at the end of the day, I just want this to. I just want this offensive line to work, and everybody's at a new spot. You know what I mean? They're on the opposite side of the line, and then with the exception of Zach Frazier. He's literally the only person that is in the exact same position that he played in last year. So again, Mike, I hope this works smoothly. I can see how, again, I mean, people are human. It could potentially be an issue, but I don't want that to be our issue this year. I sure as hell hope it's not the offensive line. Mike, again, the better they play, they're looking for their contracts next year. Yeah. So it would be in their interest to have a great season on that offensive line. So let's hope that is the case.
Oh yeah, I hope they all ball the fuck out, and then we're in this position of who we're going to pay, because that means we did something right. Yeah. And this has shown that we've had some really good drafts. Like, guys are getting rewarded with big money, and people around the league are like, yeah, that makes sense. They're getting that amount of money. That means the front office doing something right. And that gives me confidence to when we can't re-sign everyone, and then we have to go back into the draft to find the replacement. That we will find the replacement, and we'll just keep stringing that system along like we used to. Draft, develop, and just let them go and keep some that you need to keep.
I agree. And you're not wrong, Mike. I think we've had nice drafts. Say what you will. I think that it all just kind of is based off of success. People say, oh, you know what? The Steelers, they haven't been winning. They haven't been getting the playoff wins. So people tend to say, well, their drafts wasn't that good. I think we've had nice drafts. Certainly had nice players. Yes, you could take a couple of the years. I think, what was it, 22? You don't have anybody from that draft even on the team anymore. Yeah. There's exceptions. But overall, all in all, I think we draft well, and I'm happy, again, under Omar Khan, what is going on so far, until I have a reason not to be happy. Yeah. I guess I could certainly be a lot worse. It could certainly be a lot more that's left to be desired with the GM. And I got to be honest with you, Mike, until he fails us, I can't say a bad word about him, because I don't think that we're anywhere close to being failures at this point under GM. So
we already started to re-sign the guys in his first draft class.
Exactly.
And they're all key players. Like, you whiff on your first round pick, and it really didn't set the franchise back. Because they quickly adjusted. Like, they realized, okay, he wasn't going to be that good. Let's go get another tackle to balance it out. And then they just kept building and building. And I had nothing but high praise for the front office the past 4 years.
I'm right there with you. I truly am.
Yeah. Hopefully the new coaching regime, we can, boom, hey, take it to another level.
Take it to the next level, Holmes. Let's go right here to, I'm going to skip here just a hair, kind of get back in the picture. Tortilla, I would say Sierra is in the past, but I'm pretty sure future is in Sierra. Let's go here to Tyrone. We can trade Troy for 2 firsts next year. Let's go Steel Loyal. Yo, Russ, what's your favorite future song? Tortilla says someone got it. Steel Loyal, the GOAT. Let's go down here a little bit to, there it is, Mayor of Kingston. Mayor of Kingston. There it is. Kingstown. Is it Kingstown or Kingston?
Kingston, I think.
Okay. Kingston. Is it okay? Is it spelled Kingstown, perhaps? I just don't know. Again,
I'm not sure.
Let's go to Ty. Ty says, wow, now Chico Bean said future change your name to the past because I'm Sierra. Future had me dead as fuck. Let's continue down here to Robert. Robert says this. Robert says Diggstown reference was absolutely intentional.
My guy.
Like it. Tortilla says, deep fake derpies boobs onto Mike. Let's move on.
Why not?
Please, let's move on.
I kind of want to see that.
Steel Loyal said there's nobody in Cleveland that could help with quarterbacks, as if that's not apparent, right? I mean, come on. They have a quarter century of getting the best possible players, or very close to. See how that's working out for them. Somber says this, talking about Lamar. He's too concerned with wanting to be an elite thrower of the quarterback. He forgot to stick at what he's good at. Now he's old and can't do either. And that's a very interesting comment by Somber. because somebody here, I don't know who's doing the top 10 freakish athletes in Pittsburgh. Somebody here in the media, and Cordell Stewart was really interesting here yesterday, saying that he could probably be a great wide receiver had he stuck with playing wide receiver in the pros. You remember there was a little bit of controversy in the 90s about that, but he was stuck with it. He wanted to be a quarterback, and he was, and he made that decision, but he could have probably been pretty damn good wide receiver, was the point of what was being said in this particular article. Corey, don't drink that. He says this, the Ravens usually get a relatively easy schedule. A lot of the defensive coordinators that plan for him don't have the personnel to stop him. In 18 weeks, wears on guys' legs and shoulders. He gasses easy. Mark says, got to save our money this year. Mark is also saying that we already have JPJ's replacement. Tyrone is asking who. Mark says this, Mike. In response, he says, any of those guys, really, you got to think JPJ's numbers are skewed from Tomlin's D's, always letting someone run free. No wonder JPJ doesn't get thrown at, right? Interesting. Mark Malone also says this, we need to cash in on the trade while we can. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
This is top tier troll. This is
What, Mark?
Yes.
And also, let's go right to Tyrone. Mark, that is the dumbest shit I ever heard. My couple things. Speaking of dumb shit, let's talk about this for a couple minutes. I saved this to last. I do have some things about the fat man, Mike, and this is what the fat man in Pittsburgh is saying lately. Talking about dumb shit, let's get to it. Mike, the fat man says this the other day. Steelers were a little premature on the Will Howard hype. The Steelers, according to the fat man, again, he's a very, very fat man here in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And according to him, he says the Steelers were a little premature on the Will Howard hype. Mike, what is wrong with this statement?
The Steelers never hyped up Will Howard. They
Exactly.
drafted him in the 6th round and said, hey, we like him as a developmental prospect. As the old coaching staff said. The new coaching staff said, hey, we like him as a developmental prospect. There's traits there that we like. We want to see what we can get out of him. They never said he's going to be the franchise guy. They never, maybe, I think at most they said, hey, we think he's a guy who can lead the team. He's proven he can lead the team in college. Why not say he can do that in the pros? He has those traits. They never made him out to be like he's going to come in and be the guy after Aaron. He's going to be the franchise savior. No, those words were never spoken. They like they say with every draft pick. Hey, we're excited what we see out of the future out of him, what we can get out of him. They say that out of everyone. He was a 6th round pick. Fat man. I don't. The media and the fans were the ones overhyping him, saying
Absolutely.
he could be. Oh, he's definitely going to be the savior of the franchise. Like, no, he possesses traits that can translate. But will the total package translate? The Steelers never said he's the guy or going to be the guy.
Mike, I don't even try. I don't go after this guy. I just get baffled by the stupidity as I'm reading through things. And again, Mike, that caught my eye immediately. The Steelers were a little premature on Will Howard's hype. Again, that doesn't seem very Steeler-like to begin with, one way or the other. And again, it was very much so the media and eventually the fans.
Yeah.
Mike, but again, there you go. And finally, the last word by the fat man here in the Berg. Mike, this is what he says. He says this. Caboli believes that Castro over Spears Jennings. Castro will make this team, and Spears Jennings will not. I guess it's a possibility. But, Mike, is this Castro ever going to shit or get off the pot in any capacity? And if not, why are we even entertaining this thought? Give the young kid a chance.
Like what did Castro do last year in the preseason?
Mike, you know what? He got traded. He went to Tampa Bay and came back. Like, he's literally been gone already and came back.
Yeah, like I don't understand some of the people's love affair with this practice squad guy, undrafted practice squad guy. Like, Beanie Bishop was an undrafted guy, made the team one year and then was gone the next. And now you got guys banging the drum for this guy. Like Spears Jennings had better, I don't know. I think he had better film coming out of college than Castro. I don't get it.
I agree. Again, it's just it's not even about the
It's
practice
comical.
squad players, Somber. It's just about the dialect, what's being said and who's saying it, and why does this kind of
Yeah.
talk continue in the Berg? The practice squad point really has nothing to do with anything. It's irrelevant to the point. But again, the point was that this fat man in the Pittsburgh media, what they do is it should be a crime. Let's move on, Mike, and we are going to, as we are rounding third, get to some trivia right here. Let's go to Tyrone. He says this, Mike. He says, I think you need to stop being in the Steelers chats. I ain't even joking. Save yourself. That, of course, was to Mark Malone. Tortilla says, Mark thinks JPJ is Trevon Diggs. Lindsay says, I'm happy I don't listen to this guy ever. And you know what? There's certain guys in Pittsburgh I will never listen to. I won't, because this and things like it. Anyway, let me finish the comment. She says, this guy ever take I've heard. Let me start over. I'm happy I don't listen to this guy ever take. I've ever heard him say was terrible. What pod is he on? He needs fight. You know what? Here's the thing. He's the big name. He's working with the PMS and everything else. And again, not jealous or anything. I truly believe me. I don't know what there would be to be jealous of. It's just disgusting. And again, I think that the work that they're doing is counterproductive. But again, it's more about tuning into their show than it is about getting you the most out of the information that is given. So do what you want with that, Mike. But why don't you do what you want when you talk about the website?
Head on over to the 2dumyinzers.com. There's articles over there. There's all of our links to social media, so that way if it's clickable links, just click and you're there. And if this is your sort of thing too, we got the 2 Dum Yinzers merch over at the 2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, guys. A lot of cool things over at the website. Mike does do a lot of work over there. We do have things on there by him, RB, and Chop. Go check out the website today at www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike, this question is going to be about question of the day. Trivia. Put on your thinking hat. Put on your thinking caps, everybody on the board at home. The question of the day is going to be about a man we talked about today. The question is going to be about a man we talked about today being a former Steeler. The question of the day, of course, is about Eric Ebron, Mike. Again, I, like you, think that this got taken a little bit. All right, Somber, have a good one, dude. This one has a little bit to do.
Deuces, homie.
Is about Mike Eric Ebron, of course, and the things that he was saying over the past couple of days. Again, I agree with you. I don't think there was much relevance. I think that he was having a good time. But again, you know how these headlines will be put out there and which way they are. So I certainly wanted to talk about those briefly. Guys, let's get into the question of the day. Mike, here we go. Everybody on the board, here we go. In 2024, who selected Eric Ebron at number 10 overall? Pretty simple. In 2014, not 2004. 2014, who selected Eric Ebron at 10 overall is the question of the day. Take a moment to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Let's go. I'm going to grab a couple messages while you are thinking, Mike, on the question of the day. Again, who drafted Eric Ebron 10 overall in 2014? Pretty simple, I think. Let's go on the board, get some things out of the way, and then we will conclude. Let's go here. Robert says this: Castro is better than a couple of safeties we had on our roster last year. He's just going to be one of these guys that just never makes it. He's going to fall through the cracks, in my opinion, Mike. Along with some of these other names you're talking about, these running backs, with your Hurlmans and your guy, the Nichols. Yeah. Some of these guys just aren't going to be there. He's not going to be that guy. And for me, Castro falls in that category. They kind of waver, but it's on a low level of wavering.
Yeah, I just wasn't impressed with him. Like he's another kind of like Spears Jennings, those 7th round undrafted guys. Like,
yeah,
if you get something out of him, cool. If not, next.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Let's go right here to Mike on the question. Some guesses going on. Tortilla saying the Colts. The Colts, of course. Mark Malone says, I wonder if Savage is going to bring it. If I hope. Again, I like the depth idea. I like the depth. Lindsay is saying something a little different than Tortilla. She's saying the Lions. Tyrone is saying Chuck Clark, Duggar, trash. Uh, yeah, who was that? Duggar. Boy, I forgot all about him, Mike.
Yeah, he did good, and then that Cleveland game happened, and he was never the same after it.
Yeah. Wow. How did he forget my mind? How did he lose? He's gone entirely.
Yeah, I forget where he went.
Yeah. Chuck Clark, of course. I remember that name, but Duggar left me entirely. Steel Loyal says, you mean 20? It was 2014. I do apologize, Steel. Thank you for that. He says it was the Lions. Christine, she tends to agree with him, saying Detroit. Mark Malone says JPJ's new home. I assume that he's going with the Lions there as well. Let's continue down here. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says Lions won't be able to afford JPJ after they pay Gibbs. Just stop Mark. And Tyrone says literally, LOL. Mike, it seems pretty heavy one way here. What's your thought process on the question of the day in 2014? Who selected Eric Ebron at 10 overall?
I know he came from the Colts. I can't remember if he played on a team before that, so I'm going to agree with my bestie Tortilla. We go with the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, Indianapolis Colts is your correct answer. I'm going to lock you in on that. Question of the day. Give people another moment or two. Put up your guesses. Maybe you do know, maybe you don't. If you just want to try, go ahead and throw it up there. Throw your answer up, guys. Question of the day once again is this: in 2014, I do apologize, not 2004. Now you're going back to Big Ben and Heath Miller. That's the area of those guys when they got drafted. 2014, who selected Eric Ebron at 10 overall? 10 overall. Man, I wish we would have seen the 10 overall talent when he was here. I don't think we did. Guys, the question of the day's answer is this: in 2014, who selected Eric Ebron at 10 overall? The answer was Detroit. He did play there 4 seasons, played for 2, I think, with Indianapolis, 2 for us. I do believe, if I'm remembering right, I could be wrong on that, but I do know that he was, in fact, drafted number 10 overall by the Detroit Lions in 2014. I'm literally always right, and I was just being a smartass. Lindsay says, hey, you know what? Between you and Christine, I think they're both tied. I mean, we're talking about winning percentages and never being wrong. I do know that you two are way at the top, because yins are always right. Lindsay and Christine, of course. And Christine, I do want to say, if you are still here, we are thinking about you. I did recall, I mentioned it yesterday about your injury. You had an injury. You talked about separating your shoulder. Here, we at the show, of course, hope that you are doing fine and doing better, and things are getting better in that capacity for you, Christine. Let's go to Steel Loyal. I only know this because I watched the podcast, LOL. Guys, I do. Mike, your thoughts today's show?
Don't go buying your sex toys at the flea market. I think that is the big takeaway from the show. Don't buy your sex toys from the flea market, and don't listen to anyone that says Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback to come out of the AFC at all time when there's people like Ben Roethlisberger coming through. Joe Flacco even. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl for the Ravens. Yeah. Exactly. Steel Loyal, number 1 rule. Don't buy your sex toys secondhand at the flea market. That was kind of like the big takeaway from the show for me. I was just like, and we had jizz on tits apparently earlier in the show too.
Jizz tits, dildo as vibrators.
Dildo, yeah, and like I thought we were doing a Steelers show here, but now we turned into a sex show here, and I'm for it.
Hey, sex sells, right?
Yeah.
I do want to say this. Mike is going to jump in his car as soon as the show is over and head to Beaver Falls. Mike, I just want to tell you that the building has since been torn down. I'm so sorry. Let's get some more messages in here, Mike. Lindsay says, bye, guys. Have a great, you too, Lindsay. Always great seeing you. Hope things are going good for you. I know that you have the birthday parties. You're going to be doing the beer crawl this weekend. Stay safe.
Ooh,
all right.
hell
Have
yeah.
a blast. Stay safe. Have a good time. We'll see you next week. Steel Loyal says, sounds like a successful Friday. And guys, we are just over a month. Next time we see you guys, we are literally going to be less than a month away from the Steelers showing up for camp. That's right, on Monday. The Steelers, it'll be the 29th, and the Steelers are showing up at camp on the 28th. of July. So it'll be less than a month when we see you guys on Monday. A few things before we do get ready to take off. Don't forget, Mike, the Pittsburgh Pirates trying to hang in there. They do have a series with Ty's team, the Cincinnati Reds, starting today, 6:40 game, 1 of 3. Also, the Pittsburgh Riveters, what did the Riveters got going on, Mike? The Riveters have something going on. They play tomorrow. Steel City in a prep game for their big tournament game next week. Also, don't miss the Pittsburgh Passion, the ladies that play full contact football right here in Western PA. They are hosting the Mile High Blaze in the first round, excuse me, of the WFA, the Women's Football Association. That will be on YouTube, guys. If you want to check out the gals play the Mile High Blaze, which I recommend highly. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Pittsburgh guy. I do recommend watching our women play. If you like football, you like black and gold, I think you'll certainly enjoy these ladies playing football. They are still ranked number 1, so check them out. Also, that is going down this weekend. Mike, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they have a big week. They have the draft today. A lot going on in the Burgh, as usual, as we do continue to wait patiently for our Steelers to get back into action. Mike, just this much over a month away.
It's so goddamn close. I can't wait. I hear pads popping in the distance. It's right around the corner, boys. We just got to hold out a little longer.
I agree. Lindsay, I do apply. I did know it was July because I'm a July and all my people were Julys, and I did know that. I apologize. I'm jumping the gun a bit, I guess. Just so anxious to get to football season. Christine, that's because girls rule and boys drool. Hey, you know what? That's what they've always told us. Maybe check Mike's pillow when he gets up. I think that's confirmed. Also, let's go to Christine here. She says, have a great weekend, everybody. Ravens suck. Always great seeing you, Christine. I hope you have a great weekend as well. Stay safe. Rest that shoulder as you're trying to get back to full health, Christine. Also, Mike, you know what? We got results. We also have results, guys. You might not want to run just yet. We do have results heading into the weekend, Mike, with just 2 days left next week. And again, if you or Derpy want to supply a new pitcher next week, I will throw it on Monday and Tuesday to wrap up the competition. Of course, I did enter Mike and I did enter Derpy into a gay dating website to see who could pull more man-ass, guys. This is what the results look like right now, Mike. You were kind of catching up away in one area. Again, we're going to talk about this just briefly. Derpy with a 231 on the views, Mike with the 213. Again, I think this is really irrelevant, to be honest with you. Derpy had a Superman costume on.
Yeah.
That just tells me that, I don't know, that just catches the eye. But, Mike, the one that's really important is just decided by four likes as we speak, Mike, as Derpy has 71. You have 67 likes. So, again, it's going to be a big finish, guys, next week as we wrap this up. And, again, if you want to get some new pictures out, Mike, you could certainly get new pictures, and I'll let Derpy know as well, and maybe that could boost you across the finish line.
It could be. I just want to get 2 more likes and withdraw my name.
All right, there you go.
just saying. I think.
Let's go. Also, I do want to say this. Let me grab Mark Malone. Thunder and Leather Chaps would win it. Thunder and Leather Chaps would win it. The assless ones, too, Mike. We got them assless ones floating around here somewhere. Also, Ty, great show.
I'm looking at them now over in the corner.
Are they over? You got them? You have the assless chaps?
Yeah, it's my turn to wear them.
Over here in my corner, it's going to be my turn to drink today after the week we've had. Do stop by. Get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner at Giant Eagle, guys. They have it in 6 and 12 packs, and you can get it also wherever cases are sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner always help us out as we do to them. So we'd like to give a little bit of love back to them, guys. Do grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Perhaps you're not a drinker or drink that often. Just jump on their social media, hit the like, hit a follow. They will love it, guys. I promise you. Go check out Duquesne Pilsner. We always have it on studio here, on tap in the studio, Mike, for every occasion that does come along. Duquesne Pilsner, made right here in Pittsburgh, and it says it on the can. Grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, you can check us out as well. If you are on social media, check us out at Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok, guys. We are everywhere. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the Two Dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, hit the sub, the share, comment. It all helps us out, guys, with the algorithm and the way things get pushed out. So we appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, any big plans for your weekend?
I'm going to go see the parents this weekend.
Nice.
Take the kid, go see the grandparents.
Good. That'll be a nice weekend.
Yeah, we'll see. My kid's on a weird sleep schedule.
Yeah, he's on the summer sleep.
Well, he's on the I'm going to bed at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Sleep schedules. Yeah.
And then he's up all night long.
It's nice, yeah.
Hey, you know what? That was one of my favorite things about being a kid. It was that summer vacation because the summer sleep schedule was just so opposite of normal life, and I loved it. I was up all night every year, all summer long. I was up all night. I slept during the day. So again, I could totally relate to your young man there, Mike. We are going to be back Monday at our regular time to do it all over again, guys. We were just screaming to our 1,000 episode, and we're getting there fast. I promise you guys, it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of great things. That will be also the 5 years of the show, and also starting the 10th season, if you could believe that, of the Two Dum Yinzers here on YouTube, guys. We want to say thank you to everybody for supporting us. As a matter of fact, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here today and checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you, a big shout out and big thank you to our terrible board, as you are the best. I continue to say that day after day after day after day as we continue our quest to 1,000. I'm never going to change saying that because you guys were a huge part of everything that we do here. And again, we couldn't do them without you guys. Thank you so much. You are always a big part of the show. You always make the show interesting. You are the lifeblood, the terrible board. You deserve rewards in your own way of greatness. Believe me, you truly honestly do. We have nothing but good things to say about our terrible board. And finally, everybody that's at home watching, listening, perhaps in the car, in the gym, at work, taking a shit in the stall, waiting for your workday to end here within the hour, perhaps, guys, we want to thank you too. We'll be back at our regular time on Monday to do it all over again. We hope everybody has a safe weekend, has a good time. Mike, I think we got our rain out of the way. I know that we had a big storm came through last night. Maybe get back to the nice weather for the weekend. You and the kids could have fun there, and everybody could have a great weekend, guys. As we're getting ready to wrap up June and head into July, guys, it's going to be here before we know it. It is going to be here before we know it. I want to say thank you to Patrick Olson as well on the board. You guys are great. I recognize the name, Patrick. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the terrible board. Mike, I think that is everything. I think this is how we're going to wrap it up for the weekend. Again, thank you for sticking with us. Again, it's always a roller coaster, whether it's episode 1, whether it's episode 204, whether it's episode 578, whether it's episode 716, whether it's episode 912. It doesn't matter. It's a roller coaster. It's life, baby. It's just what it is. We do appreciate you for sticking with us and sticking it out and supporting us. You are the best. You deserve everything, guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Again, stay safe. Have a good time. And Lindsay, I did know that. Again, I will get you back on that celebration next month on the bar crawl. I do know that you do have the boys are getting old on you, I see. So I think that you're going to have a good time with that. Mike, anything else before we do wrap it up?
No, I got nothing whatsoever. Just have a great weekend, everyone.
Absolutely.
Back.
Absolutely. Stay safe.
Back Monday.
Stay safe. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back on Monday at our regular time. Until then, for Derpy, for Finch, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself, the Two Dum Yinzers, everybody have a great weekend. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. We'll see you on Monday.